All right, team. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Lots to get through here. Lots to get through. Big sell day yesterday. Nice continuation yesterday for those of you who held on. Hopefully, John held on. He got all his targets. And yes, gap down this morning as the panic continues, taking out previous week lows. It's important to understand where we're at on the dailies. All right, so let's just have a quick look at this. Sorry, move this mic. All right, we talked about yesterday this yearly profile and how we've been developing, and the key being, I just lost that already. The key being this shelf here. All right, this is where we've built a decent amount of liquidity into, down to 24/7. Surprise, surprise. All right, 24/7s, the rotation, 7s to 25k, back and forth, right? We're back to that level, right? We're back to 24/7s on this shelf. The key being, here's the lower Bollinger Band, all right? Now, we rarely trade beyond lower Bollinger Bands in one go. You can see when we do rotations like this, 20-day, lower bowl, 20-day, lower bowl, rally, all right? Upper bowl, 20-day, lower bowl, 20-day, lower bowl. It is possible to trade outside of it, all right? If absolute panic happens, we can have big black swan event. I'm not saying we go down that far, but you can see capitulation underneath it. There are some levels here which we can come and test. So we've got these equal lows here, 24,420, all right? Lots of stops will be in and around there. We have some old point of controls and value areas in here. So I'm not saying we don't drift lower. What I'm saying is your location for a new short down here is far from ideal, is it? Is far from ideal. Think about the last few days. We've been trying to short up here, right? This is a long way down. You're almost 1,000 points lower than where we were entering before. So be aware of that. If we get continuation over the next few weeks, right, if we're going to go into a capitulation, then we are going to get this sharp turn on the Bollinger. You can see, if we zoom in, it has already started. Right, it has already started to turn. You're going to get this, and you're going to get one of these to follow. What will the target be? Well, if we go really, really heavy, all right, this node, this has not been tested. This is your 200, all right? Very rare that we don't test this in a low volume node area. This will keep trending up. So I'm interested that whether it's into the end of Q4 or beginning of next year, if we do sell, those are areas I'm watching. Right now, we're just looking for intraday plays. This is not a great location. A back test would be better. If we get capitulation at the open, then maybe we can follow the tape, but it's far from ideal to be taking new short positions down here. If we move to the hourlies, you will see what I'm talking about, all right? This is previous week low. This was the capitulation low last Friday. Remember, last Friday, we came down here and then rallied off it into close and then gapped up. We are now below this. This becomes a big level, which is why I've marked it out as red. And really, I'd argue up into here, into this old value. So, in fact, let's do one of these here, all right? This matters. This bump from last Friday matters. If we don't fail Friday's low, we've already wicked underneath it. We've taken that liquidity. How we act into this bump here where we built out liquidity will matter, all right? Because that was a big V-shaped recovery. Can we sort of reject that old point of control? Can we reject that old point of control from last Friday? If not, where is the better location here? All right, if we think about what we had yesterday, nice B-shaped profile, right? Beautiful B-shaped profile. Really, we'd love to reject off the lower end of that profile. That is the most ideal play we will get today, all right, would be a short squeeze up to here and a rejection off that B shape. If we recover previous day value area low and previous week value area low, then it's potential that they do one of these. We can't rule it out, guys, all right? We can't rule it out. It's a big move down. Could even easily have a two-leg back up, and that can happen over multiple sessions. I would like to play continuation short. I just don't want to get short down here. All right, the only way I'm going to play short down there is if I see something on the tape that I can join and it's very obvious and I think, yeah, I can have a decent RR there. At the moment, I'm not seeing that. So either this is going to happen, a rejection of previous week's value down here, all right? a drift into there, or the push up into previous day's value area low and a rejection of that. All right, that would be more ideal. That would be sort of your Globex level and stuff. Somewhere into here would be absolutely ideal if it will offer it. All right, I'm not going to play the longs today. You might be like, you're mad. I'm not playing counter trend longs off this heavy momentum, because I don't know that you don't just see that and a complete capitulation. You just don't know what these funds are going to do. Targets to downside all the way down here, double bottom. We are coming into this old value area low. You can see this is the congested area. Go back to like a month ago when we were talking about the 25,000 to 700 rotation. Here's your 700s. Here's your 700s. Here's just under 700, 700, 700, 700, and 25,000. All right. This was a heavily fought over level for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, we battled in here. All right. So just be aware of that. If they want to hold, you can see we've come right into this value area low, right underneath this, trying to trade inside. These areas here hold significance. Okay. I don't think there's any which are untested. There's no naked POCs down here. Everything's been tested. So really, if we're going to liquidate, I am looking for all the way down here, 24,400. That would be more of a black swan, more of something where we go outside of a Bollinger. It's very unusual, but the tape has been heavy. I'm not going to argue with that, and I'm not going to fight it. So let's just see what we get. Looking at overnight, you can see, right, big B-shaped profile like we talked about yesterday. Beautiful. Closing at the lows, POC here. Asia tried to sort of reclaim this pivot, failed. London came in and said, what has gone on there yesterday? Let's sell this versus previous day value, and we're in a drift lower. All right, so here are your levels. They're marked out for you. Let's move up into a 5 minute. We can check ES. Oh, basically, guys, we should also mention, let's get out of this a second. Get out, get out, get out, get out. If we do build liquidity here, down here, all right, that is to go lower, just so that you understand why I'd like to see a back test to move lower. All right, very, very simple inverse cup and handle. Okay, let's get to the ES, looking exactly the same. Okay, bouncing off a key level which I had marked. Okay, same kind of thing, Friday low. So it's got room. ES has got room to take this liquidity at 655. All right, so that's what I'd be watching for. If you get a push and fail, 655 is your target. Spiders, same thing. It's got room. Very, very heavy. This is a block where we found a bid on Friday. All right, very simple. We bid off this on Friday. We're bouncing off IB low from a week ago on Friday at the moment. You can see it's got a reaction from the IB low. If they fail, if they push and fail, they're going to come back for these lows. We can watch that carefully. Because what we do after that becomes important. Do we have follow through, or is that liquidity grab and the end of this, and you know we need to go sideways for a bit? Qs, same story. We're underneath that low, like we talked about. It has room if we're going to get really heavy on the Qs. You know, we've got tons of room down to 590s. 600 is a huge options level as well. Just remember that. So 600, big, 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 big options level, and under that it has room. So if they reject 600 this morning, it was a put wall. They're already underneath it. Let's see how they act at the open. VIX is on a tear. All right, just absolutely flying right now. Coming back to these Friday highs. If we base over those Friday highs, you know, we'd be looking for a trade into 25s and then 29s. If we have a sell day today, unless it's, you know, complete panic and the market's over, then Monday there's probably a reaction for a move back upside. Right, Apple still amazing relative strength. You might be like, oh, we are moving down. We are, but we're not underneath all of this, are we? Incredible strength here from Apple, holding up near all-time highs. Very, very strong. Important to note that. Came out news this morning. Sales of the new iPhone in China have been good, but worth noting in this session, we are gapping down under previous day low, underneath PDC. Amazon, underneath previous day low, underneath PDC. Big old washout here. All right, so let's see if we can retest these for some sells. Goog, absolutely slapped. All right, this thing's getting murdered. All right, it's night time for Goog right now. We're starting to let go of this shelf. So any back test of there, if we stay heavy, is a sell opportunity. Whether that happens today or next week, that's what they'll be looking for. If they reclaim this, it'd be a wash and a reclaim and back to the other side of the range like we always talk about. Meta, same thing, letting go of a shelf. All right. We talked about this. I thought a pop-up would be sold into, and it has been. And we're breaking 600s now. It has room. This is why I wasn't ready to buy Meta yet on the swings. I think we have room right down into some of these areas here where we found pivots in April. Right, this is weak. This is a weak name. Look, 1, 2, 3, lower high, failing. It's coming down into levels of interest here. Don't be early to buy these. All right, if you're looking for swing longs, do not be early. Right, we've got a bit of a liquidation event happening now. Froth coming out the market. Microsoft into key pivot. Right, this is where we sort of based out after the earnings debacle, and we're trying to come back into it right now. If they can't hold it again, we move lower. So far, every mag name gapping down. Surprise, surprise. Nvidia, that's your level, 179. Break 179. We're in a bit of a free fall for a liquidity grab down here. All right, 76s. We start getting heavy under this. We zoom out. It is not a good look. All right, everything's looking the same. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, failure, and we're coming right back to here. Tesla, same story. Big liquidation event. Look at all this liquidity we have left above us now as we've started to roll over. Here is your range. And there is the breakdown, right? Every bull in there, every bull now since the beginning of September is getting liquidated. Next stop, 355s. All right. So if they reject anywhere into sort of the teens and 20s, you're looking for that move, swing short down to 355. If they reclaim this, so look below and fail, and we go other side of the range. That is the market. All the market's looking the same. AMD, the same thing. Same story here, folks. Right? We are weak, and we are weak in tech. All right. We are weak in tech names. Relative weakness in the ES because we're starting to rotate out of these frothy names into some other more defensive names, let's say. Things with lower PE ratios and more steady ships. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not interested in buying this squeeze up. I am interested in playing a short if and when it comes in. It might be that it just doesn't come in. They just flush it and I'm sat here holding my coffee all day, and that is also okay, folks. That is also okay. Right, what did you guys think is going to happen today? Did that ever post? Good morning, everyone. Thanks, John Dennis, for the tip. Very kind of you. Thank you, thank you. Market about to open here. Let's see if we can get through some names quickly. Make sure you smash that like button nice and early. All right. Good morning, Global, Chad, John, Frank, Toby, Jesse, Jeff, Garbs, Chad, Noah, Clint, InfoRisk, Bumper, Christy, Futures with Drew, Chris Thorne, Miguel, Peter, Larry, Gigi, Jay, Aaron, Full Forward, Adam, Sergio, ERF, AB, Eva, Raphael. Oh, I've lost you all. Moved so quickly. Wow, there's a lot of you in here. Leron, Jonathan, Green Otter, Lauren, Silem, Troy, Marek, 80 Smiley, Anthem, Brandon, Bart, Contorted, Lifetime Doji, Ken, Tonio, Aaron Sharma, Full Forward, Andrew, Stefano, Roscoe, Mike, Myron, Patrick, Sloth, Bill E, Jonathan, Molokai, 3-bar reversal, Peter Illis, Sebastian, Frank, Allen, Red, Alvaro, Otis, Aintus, John, J. Cameron, Eduardo, Jazz, Omalabi, Carla, Arby, Toby, Orderflow, Swoosh, and Holostick. Good morning. We got through them, just about. Just about. All right, smash that like button nice and early. You know what we're looking for. We're looking for downside pressure. I'd like to see some relief at the open first. If possible, it may be that this market will not give it to us. But let's just see, folks. What I don't want to do is short the lows. All right, I'm not interested in shorting the lows. So let's just see what we get. Nice and patient at the open. If they flush it, so be it. So be it. All right, we had an amazing day yesterday. We had a solid week. We're not going to be here giving back our money on a Friday with a less than ideal setup. Hey, Contorted. Nice, dude. Looking forward to working with you. Okay, here's the open. Let's see what we get. All right, some covering here at the open by the looks of it. Some bulls coming in. So it's probably a bit of Bit of covering. All of the mag very, 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 very heavy so far this morning. All right, I can give you a readout. Tesla 3.3% down, Nvidia 2.12% down, Microsoft 0.75% down, Meta just under 1.5% down, Google 2.25% down, Amazon 0.90% down, Apple 0.44% down. All right, market is bleeding. There's no doubt about it. The market's bleeding. It's about where can we get involved. That's going to be the hardest thing right now, is where can we get involved? Trading back down to previous week low right here, right now. All right, so this green line is previous week low. If you've seen continuation under that, it's possible that we bleed out. It is, like I've talked about numerous times, it is not a good location. We're at the lower Bollinger Band. We've taken liquidity. It is what it is, unfortunately. It's just going to really depend if this market is going to be nice to us and give us a pop. At the moment, I don't think we are going to get that. No, Jack, I'm absolutely not. I've talked about it. Why would I buy the lows in a panic sell scenario? It's not like we've looked below and reclaimed anything. All right, we are a heavy market right now. Not something I'm going to look to do. I'm going to look to fade pops into key levels and play the pro trend. VIX opening up at 22.59. All of the market bleeding here this morning. You've got that New York Open. New York Open, previous week low, New York VWAP, up, everything's staying heavy here so far. I just want to give it a chance to shake out. I really don't want to join the short down here if possible. But it feels like we're just going to go into a straight sell here this morning, because it is panic stations. So it's not a good location into that lower bowl, but it is definitely panic stations. Market is very, very heavy. Breaking out, leaving buyers trapped above for 2 days now. Here's the lows. So overnight lows now getting taken. And are they going to push aggressively lower under this is the question now. And this is where it's going to get whippy, without a doubt. Big selling. I thought this might happen. It's just, I don't like entering loads of week, loads of months. Not a good entry model. Let's see. Nice red plasma. Okay, new lows here. Taking out all this liquidity. And these are the areas, if we're going to get very, very heavy today, I'd be watching the 500s and down into here. Strong selling at this open. Panic is here right now in this market. Panic is definitely starting to set in. I'd say yesterday was pretty controlled. If we start breaking heavy today, it will not be controlled. It will be panic. So I'll be watching, again, this previous week low is an interesting level. So far, we've just rejected it straight out the gate and just moved 100 points lower, near enough. Yeah, we've sold 134 points in that first 3 minutes, to give you an idea. All right, so watch your ATRs. Your ATRs are way over 20 right now per 1 minute. No trade for me yet, just waiting. So be watching to see how we operate into that previous week low, into VWAP, into New York Open. Do the sellers sell that, or can we get a bit of a squeeze back up to test some areas above, like Friday's value area, yesterday's value area? I don't think we're going to get any hope in hell in getting up to yesterday's value area right now. That's trading up at 25,000. I just don't see us going there. So 400-point drive higher at the moment. It's showing nothing, no reason to get up there. Ideally, we can get a drive to sell into. Okay, here come the bulls. So here's VWAP. Through VWAP, we will go previous week low and the New York Open. Again, no position here. I'm just letting it do whatever it is it wants to do. There's VWAP. Very different to yesterday. We have to be patient today. We have to wait for location. Remember, we're at the lower Bollinger Band outside of previous week. So to move lower, we would need bulls trapped in the market. Right? We would need either panic, either like swing bulls selling all their positions, or some bulls being trapped in the market. That will happen if we can move higher, encourage lots of bulls to start buying the lows, and then sell into them. And that's what I'm going to be considering. And I think if we sell today or go sideways today, then I think Monday will probably be your day where you get some relief, because the VIX is very unlikely to keep screaming higher for 3 sessions in a row. So Monday or Tuesday next week, there will probably be some relief. All right, here's the squeeze. That's why we don't short the lows. Through New York Open, VWAP here, Asia here, and previous day low. If we can get up here, I'm very interested in the short. If we get up here, yes, absolutely, I'm interested in the short. You can't. The New York VWAP is created by one of my amazing members for guys in the Discord. So if you've done the course and you're in the Discord, you will get it for free. Watching this book. Is there any liquidity higher? Up you go. Come on, market. Higher you go, the better. Higher you go, the better. A bit of H1 relief here would be good. What would that swing look like, fib to fib, on the H1? %50 would be at 900. We're into the 30s already, 30%. So let's see, let's just let this squeeze out, see what we can get. Big buyers got trapped there again on this first push. I'd like to see it go higher, but there's no doubt about it. Some buyers just got trapped there on that first push. 100 million%, some buyers just got trapped on that first push above 90. I'd like this to go much higher first. These are big candles, folks. They might look small, but they're big. Just be careful. These are no joke. And VWAP's a long way away. So testing those 800s, failing the 800s. Buyers caught up there again so far. If we get through that, then I think we're going to go 860s to 900s. I think that's possible. Big old squeeze out here. Book's moving very, very quick. Very, very quick. Buyers still coming in here for now. Still has squeeze potential up to those VWAPs. Lower time frame algo all the way up here. It can get very, very violent on the return back upside, remember. So some selling here. VIX coming right back downside. Interesting if they find a bid here or not. If they don't, we're going to go right the way back to the lows, because this is where the buyer stepped in. So it's interesting kind of areas around here, holding the 800s for now. Okay, if they hold the 800s, they have the potential to move up towards the 860s and then 900s. If they fail the 800s, we can go and test that New York Open again. So watching this opening range, watching how we operate here. Back to these sort of 800s, 780s. It's clearly a key level for them to try and hold at the moment. And if we start failing here, it's less than an ideal location, but it's something I'd be watching. But I think the squeeze higher is possible still. Here we go. So they're trying again. Just waiting here, folks. Just waiting to see what we can get. Remember, if a seller gets caught offside, this can rip faces very, very quickly. So timing today going to be very, 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 very hard. Yes, exactly. Someone just said about the POC here. That's exactly it. This is what we were looking at from Friday last week. These are interesting levels as over-unders. My bias is still potentially for downside, but we've lost location for looking for downside. Okay, so it's the easiest way to put it. Still bulls are trying to take control here. Still squeeze potential here. So you're seeing short covers coming in here. When it's finished, it's finished. You know, when it's done, it's done. VIX back to 22s. Coming up to this view up. Through that, we have Globex. So big old squeeze. Maybe they get all the way back to previous day value area low. That'd be a really interesting level for me to think about short if we can get back there. Guess it's not that far away if they can squeeze hundreds of points this quickly, because the range already today is already 212 points. Already big old range. No blow off yet. Bull's still stepping in here. Still feels like a squeeze to me. Once it's over, I'd say. Once they're done, they're in big trouble. Right now, they're still holding. Look how whippy this is. These are not small candles, folks. These are very, very big candles. Here's your 800 test. Under here, there's a bigger flush. I'm watching this now, probably sub 780s. If they're going to let go, I'm watching it sub 780s. Big exchange. Huge exchange here. Are we going to flush down through this now is my question. Feels tight. Feels very tight in this range here. We've built out lots of volume here. In fact, let me just make sure you've got this volume on. All right, this is what I'm saying. Sub sort of 780s. There's a bigger move down here. For now, they are still holding it. Still exchanging here for now. No change. Nice and slow. Patience, patience, patience. Yeah, 780 now, the POC on the day for this current session. VIX still sliding lower. There is a short coming here. It's just whether it's going to be now or all the way up previous day at value area low. You do not want to get caught in the squeeze. Remember, we're just repricing up. This area here is the level of interest from last Friday for me. All right, from previous week. This was sort of the balance zone from the previous week. So how we act in here is key. If they get through this, we're going all the way up here. And this, for me, is going to be the prime location to be short. If we fail anywhere up here, this is a prime short location. Remember, gap fill is all the way up here. If we fail here, this is any of these interest levels are of interest to me. If we reclaim this, no shorts for the day because we're going to go back inside yesterday's range. I am expecting like a squeeze out in the morning, maybe till maybe another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll see what's what. Like I said, I want to play the pro trend, which currently is down. It's down. So view up here. What's ES doing? Let me have a little look. Did ES take those lows on that morning drive? Nope. Okay. ES coming back towards its view up as well. Spider's already through their view up. Coming back towards the 50-day. More squeeze possible, I think. More squeeze possible. I want to time this short. I want to make sure I'm on the right side of it. So wiggle here. I still think there's more in this. The higher, remember, the higher we shove up, if we're looking for the pro trend, the higher we squeeze out, the better. To move lower, we need bulls trapped. All right. So if we can squeeze out here into a key level and bulls chase, that's when a great short opportunity will arise. We have taken out low of week, previous week lows, so we have to be aware of that. Low hanging fruit is gone, but I'm not playing the counter trend today. I said I'd like to see this squeeze higher, and then I'm going to look for the shorts. This is what I wanted to see. This is the first thing I wanted to see. Now I need to see if and when they get stuck. If they don't get stuck, so be it. We have no trade. So far, intraday, the bulls are trying to take control. I think this is just shorts covering, to be honest. And this is VWAP right here. SPY and ES got a little bit to go to get to their VWAP. I'm watching this Globex low as well, 900. Once we get through 900, maybe we get previous day value area low. So again, I'm just letting this squeeze out, do what it wants. Can keep going, it's absolutely fine. Orb now set? Yeah, well, you're above the orb. Get rid of this. Globex, and then previous day low, gap fill all the way up here if they can do it. If you're long in this and you're playing the counter trend, it does make sense and you're making money from it. But just remember, it's a counter trend. If and when sellers come back in, all right, it's going to be heavy. It's still dropping down nicely, but still just at 21.75. It's coming into some areas of interest with pivots. So 21.60s. On the VIX all the way down to 21 is an area where I think buyers might step back in the VIX unless it flushes straight through, which might indicate when we start to top out. Again, I'm just going to watch the tape here, see what we get. Nice, Tonio. Yeah, lots of you taking the counter trend. Like I said, I'm focused on the pro trend today. Looking for this squeeze up into some of these levels, right? Any of these levels up here, ideally. I get a bit more coffee because I've got a very small mug here this morning. Okay, nice. Keep going. Higher the better. So through Globex. London low here. Nice, John. Yeah, nice work. Lots of buying exuberance here, probably lots of shorts getting stopped out here. The higher the better. Remember, I'm looking to play this back downside once it's finished its morning squeeze out. It's finished its morning squeeze out. This is Globex 900 here. So if they hold this, then we should get those 25,000s. Previous day value area low, previous week value area low, previous day low, into like 25,000s. There's an old New York VWAP up to 25,100. So I'm interested either here or up there, the edge of this red box or this box. It depends where we see failures. I might want to wait for the new H1 transition. I don't really want them to fail right here, right now. Not much excess there. Some strong selling coming in though. Back to VWAP maybe. I'd like to see one more push higher. The higher the better, please. Squeezy, squeezy, squeezy would be ideal. Watch your ATRs here, folks, please. All right, the ATR is very, very, very big. These candles are 35 plus points. Still above that opening range, still at this Globex level. Wouldn't be surprised to see some monster candles come soon if shorts get caught offside. Still printing above VWAP. Still holding these 900s. Big exchange here. I'm not convinced the top's in, but a big exchange here for sure. Some sell pressure here. Watching VWAP, they can still soak off this VWAP. Here's the flush to it. If they fail through here in orb, we're going to go all the way down. Opening ranges here, VWAPs here, shelf here. You can see we've built volume here. I'm not convinced that we've got enough excess in this yet, which is why I'm not really quite interested. We caught a little bit, but really we had a POC there at 910 on a transition. So I'm not convinced there's enough excess yet. Yes, I'm being extra cautious today, guys, because if you get this wrong, you're going to get caught in 100-point ripper the wrong way. So very, very, very like slow today. Into VWAP again. VIX starting to find a bid at that 2160 that I talked about. All right, so 2160 down to 21 is an area where I think VIX will start to find a bid. That's what we've just started to do. If VIX can start to turn, I'd like one more push on excess here. Let me just check ES. ES stuck at the 50-day. SPY stuck at the 50-day. QQQ's not quite there yet. The 50-day is basically previous day low on the Qs. I would like a bit more excess. I'd like one big drive up and a load of buyers to get met with a big passive seller who just says no more. And that's what I'm waiting for. That is what I'm waiting for. So let's see. Like I said, patient, 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 patient. I'm looking for the pro trend. You guys can be long in this. Like I said, this is common for me when we come here in the mornings, when we see stuff like this. I'm not going to short the lows. I'm going to stay focused on one side of the trade, which is the short. I'm going to wait for a retest of some key areas and wait for buyers to get trapped. If you wanted to long this, you've had your triggers. There's your big buy signal through New York. That's absolutely fine. I'm focused on the short. It doesn't mean that this squeeze up isn't a good trade for you guys to take. I have to trade my A+ setup, which is a pro trend after a squeeze. Very much like yesterday. Remember, I missed the opening flush yesterday. We squeezed out into my key level. We trapped buyers, and then we slapped it for 200 plus points. Bit more excess there. Still not enough for me. Come on, market. Up you go. Let's keep squeezing. Higher the better, please. Higher the better, please. Peter, if you're confused, I'd leave it alone. Like Nvidia's up 0.22% after like flushing heavy. You've got to zoom out like I do on this and look at the levels. Where are your RBS levels? That's all you've got to do. And wait. All right. If you got anyone that got short in here or here or here or here or here or here is getting squeezed out, we're going to wait. This was a level of interest. This is a level of interest. I'm interested how we operate here. I'm interested how we operate here. Gap fills all the way up to 25,094 as well. Top of Globex all the way up here. POC all the way up here. If they keep squeezing, they keep squeezing. That's absolutely fine by me. It's about waiting. Let the market come to you. And then once it's into an area, then I zoom in the order flow. Then I zoom in looking for structure. Until that point, just let it come to your area of interest. Why important to have a plan. I didn't think we'd come up the previous day, value area low. I didn't think we'd have the juice, but I'm very happy that we are because this is where all the volume was built yesterday. This is the bottom of the B shape. Remember, big B shape profile into here. Previous day low, previous day value area low, previous week value area low, previous day close. This is a thick level where I expect sellers to come back in. If they don't come back in, then by all means, a giant squeeze is very much possible to recover yesterday. But I don't think that is what we're going to get. All right, it's not what we're going to get. Or it could be. It's very unlikely that we get that. It's much more likely that this is a squeeze up into 10 o'clock, 10:15, met with sellers, and bow, back down we go. And we go into a range rotation day. Right, your IB is massive right now, folks. 328. And we've still got half an hour left. So just be aware of that. Starting to get stuck here. I want this market to move higher. Yeah, gap fill could be good, Troy. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But like we said, I'm not going to short the lows today. The clue was in the Bollinger Band, wasn't it? Remember, at the very beginning of the show, maybe some of you are joining late. We do not, in this channel, short at these lower Bollinger Bands, all right? But 50-day, gap fill, like this profile here, into some of these, yes, very interested for a retest of this low, and then hold runners just in case. But I'm not getting short down here, and I don't want to play the counter trend long. There's not enough for me to be thinking about a counter trend long today. That doesn't mean you guys can't do it. Like I say, I just stick to my A+ setups. They are what gets me paid. They're what makes me profitable. So there is some resting liquidity at 25,000. I'd imagine if we take him, we might as well go to 25,020, 25,060. Well, let's see. This is straight up squeeze. Really nice. This is everything we wanted to see. Come on, market. Up you go. Up, 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 up. We don't want this to just be walked. We actually want aggressive big candles up. That's where buyers start to chase, right? Once we, like this. This is what we want to see. Big, 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 big candles, please. With lots of buyers, market buying their way in at the top after we've squeezed out 344 points. That is exactly what we want to see. Higher the better. Just, yeah, it's a normal standard deviation sloth. So when you put Bollinger Bands on, they will always be 2 standard deviation away from your 20 SMA on any chart. Yeah, so I use it on the daily chart. Why on the daily chart? Well, your 20 SMA is your average price for the last month because we have 20 trading days in a month. So 2 standard deviation up, 2 standard deviation down. That gives you the elastic bands. It's very rare that we trade outside of that. We can trade outside, but we normally close inside. Okay, which is why we don't get short when we've just come down to it. Same as everyone who tried to long at the top of the Bollinger Band, I don't know, 2 weeks ago and got trapped. Same thing, right? Sometimes we have black swan events which change things. You know, you go into COVID, you're going to slice through those 2 standard deviations. If you trade small caps, you're going to slice through 3 standard deviations. 3 standard deviations is normal for small caps. 2 standard deviations is normal for the Qs and SPY and the mega caps because they move a bit slower. Come on, we want more. You've got to get higher here. I don't want this to just sort of slowly roll over. We want a huge face ripper where all the shorts get scared, all the bulls chase in, and then they're met with a wall. I tell you what, though, that 600 call wall, or put wall, I should say, on QQQ held up, didn't it? All right, big transition here. I'm still expecting higher prices, but we're starting to see much more aggressive selling up here. I want to see this move higher. Please don't move lower. Please, 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 please. We've got to move higher here. This is no man's land right now. Check ES. Where's ES? Coming into Globex. SPY at its 50-day. I think we've got more. I want to see SPY ideally get up towards previous day low. I think we've got more upside here. Please, market. Please flag this and go. Don't drop it 100 points. Upside, please. You still look good. If you're in this long, you look good. Come on, market. Up you get. Near the 200, sorry, the 200 on the 5 minute here. Higher the better, higher the better. I want to treat this like a sort of blow off top type scenario. Still not, I don't think there's enough excess up here. It's starting to go sideways, so we could trap volume up here and do like a volume shelf crack, but I'd much rather see a squeeze out than that play. Here's the new H1. So hopefully we can make a new H1, H4 high here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the H4's printed a new high. Yeah, a little squeeze higher and then sold into would make sense on every time frame now, because we could rebalance this H1. Please move higher first though. Please move higher first. Otherwise, you're not going to give me an A+ setup. I'm looking for H1 to make a new high above this and then fail and reprice this huge H1 bar. Please move higher first, market. Don't just leave this volume trapped here, which is what you're looking like you might want to do. Please don't do that. It will not be an A+ setup. You mother clucker. I'm going to remove this now. We don't need this. All right, watching this volume, how we build out here. If they leave this volume up here, it's going to be a pain. I want to move higher. I want 3 drives into this, please. A+ scenario. Get up there. Get up there. No. No. Motherfuckers. Okay. If they keep rejecting this volume here at 30s, there's potential for a short. This is like a couple weeks ago. I don't want to see this. I would much rather we see 3 drives higher and sold into. I don't think there's enough excess here, and we haven't made a new H1 high. Well, we have, but we haven't, sorry. I want to see us print over whatever this is. 70. I'd much rather we do this. If we reject this, though, it's a legit play. It's just not very nice. Please find a bid here. VIX starting to bounce off those 2160s we talked about. Please go up, 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 please trap them higher. I need you to take the low-hanging fruits. The reason being, we're this close to previous day low and value. Taking a short here is very risky because we've not fulfilled the obligation now. We've got this close to taking all this. We might as well come and test it, which is where my head's at. Please come and test it and leave no more low-hanging fruits. So then I know the trade should be downside. Remember, this is that H1 high. So a trap over here would be absolutely ideal. At the moment, they keep rejecting this volume up here. They definitely keep rejecting volume up here. Oh my God, you buggers. You absolute buggers. So A+ would be up here. This would be a B setup, I guess, only because we're leaving low-hanging fruit so close. But it's possible if they reject this volume, we do a full rotation back down into 839s. All right, so there's a 100-point trade there available. I want to see us come into here first to make that very, very clear. I want to see us trade through this volume and squeeze higher. But at the moment, they are unwilling to do it. We have left some buying excess at those highs. We are over Globex, though. We're over both VWAPs. It's worth being aware of that. We are holding flow zones. We have not flipped yet. So I'm trying to remain patient here. I'm talking to you almost like I'm talking to myself so you can see what I'm thinking. I want this to trade higher first because I think that is a much, much better trade. It would be a much, much better trade if we can trade up anywhere into previous day value, previous day close, and then find rejection after a blow off top. But at the moment, this grey box, you can see it's starting to reject. Point of control is now up here. This is now the most traded level on the day is up here in terms of volume. So it's a big level. If we can get over that, maybe we can get up into here, which would be great. Come on, market. Be kind. Give us the A+. Get up into there. Squeeze everyone out and then offer it. Would I call this parabolic? No, not really. I mean, it's very aggressive. It's very aggressive, but we have sort of walked it. It's aggressive, but we've walked it. I'd say if they were all like these candles, I would call that parabolic. But this is like fairly controlled right now. We need something like this, like a big nasty candle, and then we leave a wick on it and we go, see ya. All right, that's what I'm looking for. It's a hard trade because the moves are aggressive. You're still trading at 34 ATR per 1 minute candle here, even going sideways. So if you're someone that risks 20 points a candle, or 20 points to trade, you can't trade this. So you need to size down so you can give yourself more room. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Scott. That's what I need to see. We're still rejecting this volume, though. Oh, my God, this is getting heavy. This is not what I wanted. But you can see this volume just rejected. They failed to make a new high. They did just reject it. This is getting heavy here. Oh, gosh. This is not what we want. Can they do a 2-leg and hold and go higher? Pretty please, market. Pretty, pretty, pretty please. All of the mags still red, by the way, and VIX starting to find that bid and starting to squeeze higher, starting to go and test 22s now. Please, market, go higher. I want an A+ trade on a Friday after such a good week. What we're going to do, team, is building out thicker volume here as well to make it very tricky. So this has gone from being here to really, they've built it out all the way down to here now, which is not ideal, is it? Look how much thicker we've got because we've traded in this range. They've made a very big range up here, much better when the ranges are small in terms of being able to risk off. So let's just see. And still no position for me. I know what I want to see. I've talked about it a million times. Hopefully it comes to us. Get up there. I'll give you a readout on the mag so you can see what I'm looking at. Tesla 1.88% down. Nvidia just about red, pretty much flat. Same on Microsoft. Those are both closed the gaps. Meta 1% down. Google just under 1% down. Amazon 0.75% down. Actually more than that. And Apple 0.18% down. Right, so most of them, a few of them are trying to close their gaps and probably starting to find some sellers around those gap fills. Here we go. Good. Go. Beautiful. So there's the 2-leg holder flow zones, reclaim. Can we get up into here over this H1, somewhere up into these levels? If we start basing, I want to make this really clear. I will not short. It would just mean I'm wrong on my thesis. If we start basing up here, this is a long all the way back to previous day point of control, previous day value area high. This is your balance from yesterday. If they reclaim this balance, if they don't reject it, the squeeze goes all the way up here. I'm not going to like add into that short. You know, that would just mean Alex is wrong, which is fine. Alex's thesis is wrong for the day and he gets no trade set up. But there is the take of H1 high. No excess there. That is gross. Can we have some excess, please? No one wanted to participate up there at all. No buyers and no sellers at all up there. That was just an empty void. Could be the end of the auction, but we want excess because we want traps. SPY rejecting Globex right now. Or ES, sorry, rejecting Globex right now. SPY into its 50-day. QQQ got very close to previous day low, hit its 50. That's a big reaction there where they failed to trade. There was literally no trades really took place from 64. Ugh. Well, this is what we talked about. This structure, though, is not very good for it. Back to POC. We want like a candle with a big excess and a wick and a turnaround, not a flat top like that at 84. You gross thing. Back to the low side of this range. Are they going to go all the way back for it now? Imbalance above 60. Mate, what are you doing? You're going to make this impossible for me. I can already tell. Battle here. Massive battle here. Still no excess at the high. Here's the move back towards 60. Selling in front of it. Oh, mate, this is gross. This is tight and gross. Starting to see some failures here. Still no flush below. POC here. This candle structure here is really bad. All right, so on basically from 63, we have a void from 63 up to 80. There was no transactions really above 80 in terms of market. The delta there a little bit, you can see delta was buy side, but it wasn't great up there. It's not a good looking candle for a reversal at the moment, but let's just see. Still not seeing exactly what I want, but we're back to the edge of this shelf. We can pull this grey out. I'm still not convinced the top is in yet, just based on what I'm looking on order flow. Yeah, Apple's like the relative strength in Apple has been amazing. It has been amazing. Like it's incredible. But again, look, we've talked about it, haven't we? Every time we shift out the chips, the money's going into Apple. I did have positive news, Catalyst, this morning. Like the iPhone sales, I can't remember what it was, up 20% year on year. Compared to the old iPhone, which was a flop in China. The iPhone sales in China, the new iPhone, was it 17? Up 20% year on year. So that's a big look for them. That's a big part of the market. Lots of shorts I see on Bookmap. You can't see shorts on Bookmap, mate. You can just see buying and selling. You can't see whether they're shorts. This can be buyers selling, right? It's not necessarily shorts. I don't really take tweets like that into account. I just think I try and trade technicals. Like the Fed's going to say whatever they're going to say. Market's going to do what they want to do. Failing here to reclaim. So did we fill that imbalance? Filled a lot of that imbalance and failed. Remember, the imbalance was all the way up to 80. It was from 60 to 80. Failed there. Big volume being built out here in the gray zone. If we leave gray zone, it gets very nasty for a drop. If we hold gray zone, they still have the chance to go and fill low-hanging fruit above. Previous day low, previous day value area low, previous week value area low. Here to the bottom of the gray zone again. Point of control here again. Sellers trying to be more aggressive here this time than last time round. Do they get follow through outside of grey zone? At the moment, no follow through outside of grey zone. If they snap this, you probably get follow through down to VWAP. Watching this very, very carefully now. This is Globex here, this orange line. This is major battle. Still no position, but I am interested. It's perking my interest after failing that imbalance. And creating a new imbalance as well. I think we're ready to get heavy very soon. One more pop-up and failure would do it. If I can see them come back into 30s and 40s and fail, that would probably do it for me. Oh my God. Don't do it without me after me being this patient, you flipping buggers. No. Oh, that is annoying. They've left an imbalance here, which I'm waiting for. Man, they made that hard. Waited all session for this. And they never came and filled it. Okay, let's see. Don't want to chase down here. They can still soak this. Want to see how we act into this shelf here at 15s. We've left an imbalance at 40s. So that's probably the key level. If they fail back into this shelf, we're going to move lower. We're just at VWAP right now. Need to be careful here. No position. Missed my entry there, unfortunately. That was probably it. Now, I've probably missed it, folks. I've probably missed it. I'm going to be honest with you. That wick there was probably it into 17s. Me waiting for 40s was probably a bit greedy, but let's see. We didn't take low-hanging fruit above. That's one thing I'm very, very aware of. Yeah, 200 on the 5 minute, absolutely. Into this same shelf. It's in this block. Come on. Otherwise, I'm not going to get my entry. I'm going to be very upset, man. Very hard when you're this patient and then you miss it. They're trying to buy this and they're not getting a move higher here. There's a passive seller here. They're trying to buy it. I want to see a squeeze higher first. Oh, you fucks. You're really not going to let me in at all. Be calm. I think it's cooked, guys. I think that was it. I think that was it. I think Alex has missed it. I think we didn't reprice and they're trapped now. Fuck. So patient. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm looking at. On the order flow, there was an exchange at 10.10 and that level of 24,941 was massive. We failed under it and I was just looking for one more retest into it at that point and it hasn't come. So 941, which is up here. So this exchange here at POC was really big in these candles here. And this was the transition from buy delta to sell delta. And I was just waiting for that little look there. And all that we did is fail this volume and that volume is now trapped. You're probably going to get a wash now. If I get very lucky, they offer this and I see selling in here and I can consider it. What's careful now is 1, 2, and if they reclaim again, they still have low-hanging fruit. So still no position for me. Let's see. At least you get to see emotions raw. You get to see how patient I am and how sometimes it just doesn't come. Okay, maybe they come back to that 41 now. Let's see. So 35 to 52 with 41 being the thickest level. 35 to 52. If they trade through that, we're going to make new highs. Here we come, almost there at 35. 35 to 52 is where there's no volume at all. Watching the book here. So if we just buy through this, we go straight back to new highs because it's done a 2-leg. Very calm here. They're not repricing yet. 35 to 52. They've tapped the imbalance. There's some sellers up there. No aggressive buying up there. We're rejecting it so far. Bit early though. Structure-wise, still bullish. I would say structure-wise, still bullish. Here's the imbalance being tagged into. Okay, this is the area. If they don't reject this, if they trade through this new highs, trading through it, not touching it. So no short here for me because we've just traded straight through it. So would have had to see sellers defend that and not seeing it. So no entry still. Right, just watching the order flow. So I expect new highs now at this point. Now we've got this flat top with no excess. Traded through the imbalance, reclaimed this volume. No rejection. There was nothing in here for me to see a rejection, which is why there was no entry. I thought maybe that would have been it and they flew away, but they've reclaimed. And now you know what they're looking for. Previous day value area low, previous week value area low, previous day close. Still waiting to see that A+ short that I want to see. Still waiting for that. $25,000 on deck. Let me check the ES and spiders. Spiders still got a way to go to get to previous day low. Relative strength, Apple and Microsoft, rest of the market still reds. Come on then, you've got to take that high now. You can't fuck around up here. We've got no excess up there. Go on, get your ass up now. Hands off the mouse. Off the mouse. The mice? Mouse? Mouse. Hands off the mouse. Are they adding liquidity higher? 25.1, which would be gap fill. Okay. He has moved up there as well. Still no trigger short for me. Still waiting. I'm very interested. Just still not quite seeing what I want. We're close. We're close to it. I've just not quite seen what I want yet. VIX also just rejected 22s, worth being aware of, coming back down to PDH. VIX needs to hold bids between 21.60 and 21. If VIX can't hold a bid between that level, all shorts will be off the table today because we'll probably snap back down lower, which will allow bigger relief. Time and sales, yeah. When I'm order flow is time and sales, mate. So I'm looking at. I don't look at the time and sales for what goes through on a physical time and sales. I look at it on Bookmap. That is time and sales. All right, this is time and sales. I can see what's going through with the bubbles. So it's just a visual representation. The bubbles being market orders, the lines being the limit orders, right? And then I can see the transactions here of who's taking control. I still want to see this higher at this point. I had my hands on the mouse, as you said, hands off the mouse. Thanks, Alex. You're welcome. Yeah, sometimes it's just good to let it set up. Let it present itself. At the moment, we're still going sideways. We can still build this volume out. I want to see this trade higher at this point. If we fail from here, it's a very, very ugly move. MC guy, I took 46s down to 73s towards the VWAP using footprint in your education. I'm more of a lurker after 4 months of tuning in every day and starting to take my own trades for confidence. I'm a slow learner, but I do learn. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome, dude. Good trade. Okay, back to POC. Back into this volume shelf. This was where the big exchange happened, 5 minutes ago or so? Oh, don't make it so hard, NQ. Don't. Get up. I think we're going to go into an IB rotation day. We've got 10 minutes left to IB. I just want this IB to be expanded a little bit more. Come on. I think this is probably retail buying, short covering, and then we're going to see what institutions want to do soon. No, stop failing here. Stop failing here. We're going into a range now. As you can see, we're just creating a range now, and we've got no excess. This is a look below and fail. This is a reclaim. This is no excess. I want to see excess up into here. If we base above this, there is no short trade. I want that to be very, very clear. I am looking for something like this, and then I'll add on under here as well. If we base above this, there is no short trade. That will be a rotational day inside of yesterday's range. It's not what I want to see. If they want to come all the way up to yesterday's point of control, yesterday's value area high, they can do so on a squeeze. So you cannot be front side in this. If this is accumulation, they're like, fuck it, we're going all the way back here. So be it. It means the trade sets up for Monday. I know what I'm looking for. If it doesn't happen today, it's going to come Monday. Big exchange. How long to the new 5 minute? 9 minutes until new 15-minute bar. And we're just range rotating here. What's ES doing? Stuck at Globex, stuck at 50-day. I want to see ES get up to previous day low as well. Come on, market. Yeah, so sorry, folks. Nothing I can do here. Just waiting for my setup to come. Any of you who took the long, the counter trend, good for you. Really nice trade. As soon as you reclaimed New York, really, and trigger over here was the squeeze, really, 65. Like I said, I'm focused on one side of the trade, which is the pro trend side. Delta at 50, still buy side delta at 50. It's a big exchange there. So it's a bit of an outlier at 50, 165 buy side, and then 52, 100 lot sell side delta. So those 50s are a big battle zone. We had imbalances there for. Where's my mouse? Imbalances there at 10, 11, 10, 16, and now we're just sort of basing around those zones. I want to see this trade higher. Love my patience and consistency. Hey, the consistency came from being patient, letting the trade come to me and then waiting to see the setup. And also understanding, if it doesn't set up, there's nothing lost, right? Like if it doesn't set up, having to get that into my head. If I don't get the trade today, I will get this trade on Monday or Tuesday, right? The same as we tried Wednesday, we were looking for that clean out of those lows. Didn't come. We had a couple attempts, didn't come. We made money, but it wasn't what we wanted. Yesterday, we get it, right? We get the exact move, we get it. Nice full forward. Very nice. Okay, back to Globex again. Some stronger selling here. Again, still not making excess at those highs, which concerns me, but we're coming back to the bottom side of this range. This is where they keep bidding off. They fail this range, there is a collapse possible. The moment they keep holding this range and we haven't put excess at the highs. I'm still not seeing what I'd want. I'd need to see us leave this range aggressively now if I'm thinking, okay, we're not going to do an excess day at the highs and we're just going to drift lower. But at the moment, they keep absorbing that. I would still prefer to see excess. I would like to see low-hanging fruits get taken out, which would be at least previous day low and ideally into previous day value area low. That last push, the push at 1022, there was some, like, it's just like, this is so small up here. It's okay, but not the best. The move from 50 to 60 was interesting, but it's not like we've aggressively let go. We're starting to get interesting here to the bottom side of this range, but you can see every time we've come down here, we've absorbed, and they can absorb this and go right back up again. So I'm not convinced. I don't see this as like this one tick or whatever as enough excess at that high. We haven't left a lot of buyers there. I mean, yes, okay, from 78 to 83, there was some buy side left up there, but not a huge amount on the delta. 122, 122, 64. Like, it's not massive. There was more left in the push up into 58. And even that, again, I just don't like knowing we've got low hanging fruits above. And we're just in a range here. If we leave the range, yeah, fun. We can go much lower, but it's iffy. Is that a better way of saying it? This feels iffy. I think there's a mega trade setting up here when it's done. But like, we're not seeing buyers get trapped up on a spike. We're not seeing sellers really aggressive slam this market. We're not seeing that right now. We're just seeing sideways action. Okay, so I don't want to bet short here and watch myself get stopped out because I wasn't patient enough to see it take this out. I will play short here. If we move away from it and I see sellers come flying in, then we can play that short, which we're trying to do a little bit at the moment, but it's still just, remember, we've got this pivot now. It's like they've made it very, very hard by how they've built the structure out. Back to Globex. Still holding. How we act here becomes important. I think we can probably slice straight through if they reclaim. There you go. So this is why you have to, the patience is so important. Not seeing what I would want to see for my A+, and I'm not going to gamble on a C setup up here when the ATR is still, right, even in the range, our ATR per M1 is about 37 points right now. You get this wrong, you get hurt. Previous day value high would be preferred. I mean, I would prefer previous day value area low. Value area high would mean a full reclaim, wouldn't it? That's all up here. I don't want to be short up there. I want to be short into here. If we get through this, there's probably a long all the way back up. I don't want to trade in yesterday's value. It's a B-shaped profile. We want to reject the bottom side of that B-shaped profile. If we can't do that, that's showing weakness from bulls, right? Because if we zoom out, right, big selling profile, we need to reject this, don't we? Right, to move lower, because if we reclaim that, that happens. I don't want to get short up here because then we're liable for a squeeze. This is a rotation. I don't want to trade rotation on a Friday after a big sell. I want to trade continuation if it will allow it. Okay, here we go. So can we see this now? Into previous day low, previous day value area low above. Let's see some exchanges here. That's better. That's much better what we've just seen in terms of delta. Now it's all about the reaction. So first time we've seen more buy side. Still didn't quite tag previous day low. Still wonder if there's one more big old swipe up and stop run here before we do anything else. And yesterday's New York VWAP is up at 2582s and PDC up there as well. So again, still no position, just waiting. SPY getting close to previous day low. You've got to wonder, are they going to fill the gap at this point? They're that close. It's impressive. Like I said, I might be wrong today, folks. Like I said, I've said it many times. If they don't offer the short today, they're going to offer it next week, and that's fine. Big exchange. Big exchange. Huge exchange. They're still battling out here. Woof, those numbers are not a joke. Who's this guy adding liquidity up here at 23? What are you doing? Okay, value area low here. Next spot previous week value area low. Next spot previous day close. Gap fill looks very much possible, as does VWAP right now. They can fail here for previous day value area low if they leave enough excess. We have been in a squeeze up. Look at the size of these last few candles. That's the kind of thing we want to see. Maybe one more push would be nice at this point. Starting to see failures back down to previous day low now already. This is where buyers came in, so I'm still not too interested here. I'd rather be patient and wait for the absolute perfect execution here than be early and get hurt. We are starting to see some sellers come in, but structurally they can still hold 87s. And we have buy side imbalance down to 60. There's literally no sellers from like 80s to 60s. Big exchange. Lots and lots of selling going on here without moving lower. Lots of selling going on here without moving lower. Not what you want to see. Is it raining? Wow. Possible I'm wrong today. Possible. Possible I'm wrong. I think a short's coming though. But I have to be very aware if we reclaim all this area without a reaction, I have to be willing to take no trades today. And that's okay. Yeah, I think we're going to get an IB rotation. I think we're going to get a failed auction and an IB rotation. It's just going to be a question of how much patience do people have. I have to be aware of the mag a little bit. Have to be aware of that mag. Oracle's gone green, Nvidia's gone green, Microsoft's gone green, Apple's gone green. The others are still red on the day. This is huge here. There's massive selling and massive buying happening here on the market. Structure's still bullish. No excess. The excess was in these and we printed above it. So I'm still not convinced there's too much buying at the high of day yet. That's been trapped. And if we flush without me, it's okay. We can join on a breakdown of structure. We don't need to pick the top. Right now, structure is bullish. In the intraday time frame, we're holding flow zones. We're above all the key levels for now. We're coming into areas of interest for us to play short, but I've not seen what I'd want to see on the book yet. Back to this imbalance, like we said, there was no selling under this level right now down to 60. So we're back to this imbalance. If they sell through it, we'll probably go much, much heavier. Again, I don't like that high. I don't think there's much excess here. 3 candles at equal size up here. It's not, no. And I can give you the prints of the highs. There's no delta up there. I'm not convinced. Still not convinced the highs in. Not convinced the highs in. So if you're long, you're still okay. And I'd say you're okay all the time you hold 60. Failure of 60, this thing can be in trouble. Because all the buying which happened at 10.27, right, started at 60, got very aggressive at 77, all the way up to 12. So 77 to 12, if you're a bull, is where you need to hold. It's 40 points, but that's the range. If they don't hold that, there is possible bigger flush, because that is where buyers came flying in. I'm not convinced high of days in yet, but I can see where those buyers came flying in and where their pain point would be. And their pain point will be basically under 75 is their pain point, and definitely under 60. Huge exchange here, huge market selling going on here again. Massive, massive sellings taking place here again, and we're not moving lower yet. This is huge exchange, folks. All right, you just had 128 lot, 155 lot, 200 lot, 100 lot, all come flying in on the market, and we didn't move lower. So what happens? We're going to move higher. If they're trying to sell and we're not moving down, they're going to get squeezed out. This is why I'm still not looking to be a short yet. New node being built out here. And notice the problem now is, even if we get this short here, we have to respect this. Once we leave this, it gets really fun. But another node being built out here at the moment, big exchange node. Hopefully, at the very least, I'm keeping you guys safe. And I'm sorry the short hasn't come in yet. I'm sure lots of you are waiting for the same thing as me. VIX coming down. If it can't hold 21s, our thesis for the day might be wrong, and it might be thesis for Monday. Just be aware of that. Patient, 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 patient. Hopefully we'll get a trade here, folks. Yeah, exactly, capped. That 21s, if you look at that pivot from, was it overnight or was it yesterday? I'm trying to see. From overnight, that pivot at 20, I'm calling it 21s. It's actually like 2080, 2088. If they fail that, they get gap fill down to 20. We cannot be sure if VIX is going to go for gap fill, right? We cannot be sure if VIX is going to go for gap fill. Requiring so much patience here. This is where trading is tricky, is where you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then what happens is you lose patience, and you either do one of two things. You enter a not a valid trade because you've lacked patience and you get hurt and then you get very upset, or you lose focus and then you miss the setup when it comes. Man, I'm going to say this. I say it every day on stream. I don't care about midnight open. I literally couldn't give monkeys about midnight print. Don't care. I used to track it. I don't care. I don't think it has any value in the market. Okay, look above IB and fail there. Some buying up there, some market buying up there. There was an exchange up there. And there was excess left. We are moving away from it, 116, but we haven't moved aggressively yet. Still have yesterday's VWAP, 25.80. Previous day close, 20. We just call it 25.100. That kind of feels like the draw at the moment. We need to be very careful as we're starting to trade inside of yesterday's value. Be aware of that. If we do not react in this kind of, we're going to call this a zone up to PDC. If we do not react here, right, then you're at Globex and you're at previous day point of control and you're all the way up here, and then you're in a range rotation day, aren't you? You're in range rotation up here rather than range rotation under buyer's pain. It's a very different ball game at that point. I'm not going to stay short bias if we're going to start reclaiming the key levels. I'm clapped. How am I clapped? Yeah, mate. Clapped. Yes, I will be doing one, Alvaro. I will be doing one. Absorption on the tape. Yeah, they're still holding. Thanks, Tonio. Yeah, I can add you after this. No worries. So funny. I haven't taken a trade. I have had one trade pre-market. That's all I've done, folks. I have not taken a trade in this session. I'm definitely not clapped. He's trying to say I've blown up or something. That's what he's trying to say, which is hilarious. Mate, you ain't watching some other fucking shite YouTuber here getting you trapped. I've not told you to pull the trigger on anything yet. I told you what I'm looking for. I've also told you that I can be wrong here and it not set up. You're not seeing someone with huge emotional bias trying to force their way in here. Okay, this is better. Okay, here we go. Come on, buyers, get yourself caught. Check over to ES. Okay, ES into previous day low. Gap fill is still available for both of them. Exchange here at the highs. Big exchange here at the highs. Big sellers coming in, trying to pair off. Still no reaction. Still higher highs and higher lows. Still the VIX trading down. If VIX fails this level, we need to be very careful. All right, and then I'm willing to say that this trade that I've been looking for today is probably going to set up for Monday next week rather than today, which is fine. It just means we wait. It's just like Wednesday. I was looking for the trade on Wednesday, didn't come into me. Thursday, we catch an absolute A+ banger. The 200 points. Some of you got 300-400 points out of it. Ali, yeah, I'm just flat. Like we're starting to reclaim levels. Gap fill will be here. All right, and if they want to come up here, like the more we're inside previous day value, the less I'm interested in this now. All right, this is previous day's value. The more we're holding inside here, the more likely we are to come up and come into these. And then I'm not interested in that because that's a full reclaim. And what that means is this is a look below previous day value and fail, reclaiming value. Maybe they rotate in here, but at that point, you know, what's to say they don't reprice thin structure up here on a Friday as puts start to cover their positions? Nothing. So, like I said, it might be that I am wrong today. I'm a day early looking for this trade. I will sit here and watch, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm absolutely fine with being wrong. I cannot control the market. If the market wants to reclaim all key levels, it is what it is. Gap fill on SPY, is it really? Not for me, mate. Gap fill on SPY for me is, or is that what you're calling for? 72s, right? So I think you've got another $1 to go, basically, on SPY. Remember, the gap fill for me is always the 4 o'clock close. I'm interested in the cash gap. If you're playing ES, the gap fill is 760. That 600 level on the QQQ was the call wall, or the put wall, sorry, and they saved it. We drifted under, New York Open saved it. Gap now filled on the Qs, by the way. Not on NQ, but on QQQ. Gap now filled. Gap fill on the Qs. Not filled on the spiders yet. Not filled on the NQ yet. Higher highs, higher lows persist. There was a huge amount, right, of market selling in here in this node, and they failed to move lower. That's telling you currently that shorts are getting trapped. This is why I'm very patient. I'm not forcing my way in. And this is a level of interest. We're going to remove this now as well because we've traded through it. Do the same on here. I don't have an ego, guys. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It just is what it is. I have a trade thesis, but you can see on days where my trade thesis is wrong, I'm either taking very small losses or I'm just not entering like today because I'm not seeing what I want. So, like, don't worry about it. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not fucking clapped. Still absorbing now. They're absorbing a previous week's value area low. This is yesterday's VWAP, all right? Yesterday's VWAP anchored here into 80. VIX not looking good here, folks. I'm going to be honest. If VIX is going to go for the gap fill, I think my thesis is wrong. If big level here on VIX. If we fail here, we're going to go gap fill all the way down to 20. And it's looking like it's going to fail. So hands off the mouse. He definitely did not mean that. Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. All you've got to go and do is watch any of the streams. Literally any of them. Any of them at all. Watch yesterday. You want to see trade management? Watch yesterday. Watch the first entry and the management of that, taking money out of it, stopping break even, saying that they're going to squeeze it out, waiting for the squeeze out to finish, then trading it for 200 plus points. I'm not entering, like these guys who are just joining here, guys, I don't enter for 5, 10, 15 points little moves the wrong side of it, like these other guys on YouTube you're watching, and screaming and shouting because they've made huge amounts of money, allegedly, trading like 10 contracts for a 5-point moves. Right? I'm looking for 100, 200, 300 point A plus setups. That's what we're looking for. It does, Marek. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's all right. It will be from another streaming community who are very upset that I'm performing well on stream for people. Okay, gap now filled. ES not too far to go. All right, ES, you're looking for 760s. That's your gap fill. 72 on the spiders is your gap fill. All right, 72 on the spiders for those of you trading the ETFs, and 760s for those of you trading the ES. And you got to wonder, why was previous week close? 167. 167 here. Okay, this is it. Globex and 167. That's PWC. This is controlled. I wouldn't say this is very, very well controlled. It could be a 2-leg, but we have accumulated here. We have to pay attention to the volume that we've built in the day. It's not like a straight squeeze and a rollover, or like a straight squeeze and a slam down, which leaves like thin liquidity like this. That's not what we've seen. We've built out liquidity. We have to obey what we're seeing here. We've built out structure, but bulls have done a very good job in the first hour and 15 minutes of building out some structure. But do you think bulls are going to hold calls and hold their positions for next week? That's what you got to ask yourself after such a big sell-off. I'm not convinced, but At the moment, I'm clearly wrong. Big buying in this move. Big market buying. VIX filled. No, VIX is not filled. All right, VIX is into its gap. The gap fill on VIX would be 20 for me. Yeah, so 20. 20 is your gap fill. You're trading at 20.61. You're into the gap now on the VIX. Yeah, which is why I'm saying like this could be very, very dangerous for more upside now. Because VIX has gone risk off. It's still very high. So let's get this. Let's not forget one thing. VIX above the teens, all right, is not a risk on scenario. It's a high risk scenario. It's a risk off scenario. But you're seeing a fade from 23s down to potential gap fill to 20s on the VIX. This is not a position where I would feel comfortable as a bull when we're printing. It's not like when we're printing in the low teens and we're in like a steady grind, healthy market. Previous week close coming up. This is so impressive. Really, really impressive. Can do nothing but applaud the strength of these guys. All of the mag now gone green other than Google. Very, very strong reaction. And a previous day point of control. I cannot believe that they have been able to do this in one move. It's very, very impressive. And not just in one move. In an hour and 15 minutes. All right, we're looking at a 500 plus point move. Is that right? 20, over 500 point move in the first hour and 15 minutes. That is the size of weekly moves we used to get. All right, so just be aware of that. It's very, very, very impressive. They are starting to get extended from flow zones. We're starting to get very thin in here, folks. If you're a buyer, I'd be very, very careful right now. I'd be locking in the majority of your gains here. Here's previous week closed. Next stop's previous day, point of control. Like I said, my short thesis is could easily be wrong. Yeah, definitely, MC Guy. I mean, they definitely got short at the lows. That's the one thing, you know, we were not willing to do today. But we've cut through the key levels. The only thing left is up here. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to be short into these key levels now that we've reclaimed with strength? There might be a scalp down, but what I would suggest today is probably going to happen is we're probably going to trade. Is that yesterday's value? Inside yesterday's value. If we get acceptance above here, we're very, very thin from yesterday above there. We can trade right the way up to 500s. Should be, would that be over an 1,000 point move? It would be basically a 900 point move. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We are where we are. Big exchange here again. How are we looking on ES? Has it filled it yet? Okay, ES has now filled the gap. Globex is above it. Okay, so obligation for everything has been achieved. Just waiting to see if VIX completes its gap fill. You got to think maybe previous day. This is previous week close where we're starting to see some profit taking out. Maybe previous day point of control. Why is that 280? That is wrong on my chart. 280 previous day value area high. Let's move this down to 80. Make sure that's correct. Actually have it a bit lower on here. 260s. Okay. But yeah, bulls in absolute control. No trade for me in New York session is what it is. If we start letting go, it's probably just a pullback at this point. But we will see. We'll see. I will continue to watch it. VIX almost filled the gap. It's got another 50 cents, half a point to go, basically. Still not too much buy-side delta at the highs. I mean, there was a transition here, but the highest player... Oh, that's just changed. That's weird. 142. Let's see on the delta. Yeah, I don't see that as buy-side delta up there. A little bit caught here. They're a little bit caught here at the gap fill. I think they want point of control now. They might as well. They've done the hard work now to trap all the bears. They might as well go for POC. Why has it just lost my previous day value area high? Thought I just moved that down. Let's print it again. What do we say it was? 280. I think it's 260 to 280. Hey, still no trade in New York. Oh, very upset. Very upset. Might not come. Like, Cozzy, you got to be aware it might not come. It might not be the day for it. It might be a giant short squeeze out. We don't know. I'd like to see it come. I'd like to get one trade in the New York session. It would be really nice to have at least one trade in the New York session, but I'm not going to fight against what we're seeing going on here. Bulls have taken control. They reaccumulated here. They had the opportunity here. They failed. Big sellers came in here, failed. Big sellers came in here, failed. Big sellers came in here, failed. If they want a complete rotation back up to the top side of value, that is an incredibly impressive move. It will be like, by the time we get up there, 700 plus points. If they do that, we're starting to see a bit of volume being built out here. Same story. There's a little shelf being built out here. Draw that on Ninja. Someone needs to invent like some kind of thing where you can draw something on TradingView and it replicates it on Ninja, so I don't have to draw everything twice. It'd be amazing. It'd save me so much time. I mean, do they test that old gap? It'd be wild. Wild. We've swept now above that 67s. I'm just really impressed. Like, I'm really, really impressed by the size of the move. You got to think, if this ends with it being so drastic, it's going to be nasty. Is this the let go of volume? Oh, I'm going to try a small piece here. Just a little tiny little nibble. Tiny nibble versus 40, just in case they're going to drop it down to 90s. Here we go. Selling coming in here. Nice. I'm going to cover a little bit into flow zones here, into this low volume node, and while we build some out. If we get a drift into here, great. But stop's gone break even. They're still holding. It's not an A+ scenario, but we did leave that volume. If they reject this, great. If not, if they reclaim 45s here, I'll cut this. What's that actual pivot? 127.64. I'm not willing to risk that. If they reclaim that, we're gone. Okay, stopped out BE on the rest. So just added, I don't know, a little bit to my day. If we reject this, I'm willing to get back in because we're building out a shelf here. The only thing is, do we want to come up here? I hate it when we get this close, but we have filled the gap. We have taken Globex highs. But every time we've done this move, we've trapped in these low volume nodes and reclaimed and gone higher. That's why I'm being very, very aggressive with my stops. I'm now completely out of this, like I said. But if we reject here, there is a potential move. VIX trying to find a bid. I'd almost rather us just go and complete the gap fill on VIX at this point. And I want to be careful. Like, I'm still trying to trade short. I need to talk to myself here. Why are you trying to trade short too much if we're inside value? Big exchange happened at 50. Is it 50 at 52? Yeah, huge exchange. Buy side delta caught above 50. Might be a bigger drift down here when it's ready. Starting to see sell pressure here. And remember, we're very, very, very steep. Starting to see sell pressure step in here. If they start letting go, this can be a straight wash down, okay? Here we go. Here we go. I'm in this. I'm already taking some off because I don't know if they're going to trap. So if we can get through PDC, big buyers trying to step in here. Limit orders here and big market buyers stepping in here. Still in this. Come on, Bookmap, move for me. I need to be able to read you. Now watching that control at 30. If they fail 30, we look good for a bit more downside pressure. If they reclaim 30, I'm not interested. That's where the big buyer stepped in and got himself caught. Looks good so far. Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Watching these 100s whole number. Buyers have got themselves caught in this now at the tops. Looking good. Partial here into PDC. If we flush this, watching this grey box, and then really I'd like to get down into 30s. But I know this can still be front side. I'm just trying to time it well, but hopefully you're managing this well with me. You do not want to see a reclaim into 50s. Ideally, they reject 32s. But where is this player? 33s. Don't really want to see it reclaim this shelf here. Definitely don't want to see it reclaim any of this. I'm not even going to give it to up there. I want to see this block here, where this big buyer came in and around 30. If they reclaim this, I'm out, and it would just be a small win again, and we can just let this squeeze out again. We are not going to fight the tape, folks, okay? We're not here to fight the tape. If they want to take control, let them take control. Very much like yesterday. If they want to take control, you do not go add. You stop out, make your money, and you let it squeeze out again. So nice rejection there in front of those 30s. Big battle here. Watching Bookmap. I'm playing against this buyer who got himself caught into sort of his price was at 33.75. Right, I want him to stay heavy. If we start reclaiming 30s, I will cut this because I'm not going to get caught in like a 60, 70 point swipe up. Very, very close here to stopping out. Need to see this reject. If we don't reject, I'm out of this, and I can always re-enter in as we reapproach the shelf. Remember, I'm a bit later on my execution here for downside. We are holding flow zone, so be aware of that. Technically, we're bullish. I know I'm playing this counter trend on the day, trying to play the pro trend. Okay, starting to reclaim here. Out of this before we get the squeeze. Can always re-enter if we stay heavy versus volume, but I'm not going to give it any more room. If this buyer gets his way, we re-squeeze up. Where's this shelf? Coming into this shelf. We reclaim this shelf, we make new highs. Reject this shelf, and we could put in a lower high because we do have excess on this high. And we did leave 118 lot, an 88 lot, and another guy at 91 lot tried to reclaim that, and they all failed. All right, so we do have market order buying at the highs who are currently caught. So if we reject this volume, there is potential to make lower lows and roll over. If we reclaim this volume, then I think we will go previous day point of control. ES back under its gap. Relative strength in NQ today. Also need to be aware of that. We're shorting something of relative strength because the rebound has been decent out of tech. Currently flat in this now and just waiting to see what we do. And again, if we reclaim volume, then I would expect new highs. And I just have to not be stubborn today and keep trying to force. There's the squeeze. They've reclaimed that level where he was stuck. This is why order flow is important. Now, the next level is these highs here. There isn't too much delta above. There was buying up there, but it got paired off with selling aggressively. So 65 to to 75, that 10-point range up here on Bookmap is where these buyers got a little bit caught, but so far they're comfortable. Okay, right here. Right, these guys here got caught. Okay, and then I was playing against these big players here as we started to sell under them. We came a little further into volume. We actually tested the other side of volume there, which is interesting. So we cut through it. Think about this grey box. We tested to the other side of volume. That's where they were trapped. And we can still put in a higher low here. So it's very, very tricky. Timing this is not going to be easy. This is a very hard trade to be taking. And we still have, we're that close now. If they want to go POC and value area high from yesterday, I mean, they can, can't they? We're that close. It's a good reaction off that box that you've got drawn out on Bookmap. Nice aggressive selling here. Now, can they get follow through is the question after rejecting volume. No breakdown yet. Look at the edge of this grey box. This little shelf we're on here. That's your sort of new node. We can move this down. Look here. They've built out volume in here now. So that's what we're watching. If we start rejecting that, there's a bigger wash. This can still build and come up into here. The structure is still bullish. I want you to understand that. I'm trying to time this really, really well. It's the hardest trade in the book. It's going to be much easier when we start leaving all this and the flow zones start turning and we can have space down into here. But the overall momentum on the day is definitely bullish. Cannot argue with that. Some more aggressive selling here. This is sort of that edge of that grey box. How we act here is going to become very, very important if they let go of it for a bigger move down towards that PDC. So far, they are absorbing absolutely everything. But there is some selling trying to come in here. But this can be a two-leg and straight back up. Like, there's no doubt about it. If they want to save this, they're going to save it. There's that previous day view up into that next shelf at 80s. Get rid of him so I can see a bit cleaner. They're still absorbing here. Bears need a breakdown and new low here, and bulls will just want to absorb here, do a two-leg sort of trap to go back to the highs, which they're holding underneath this volume node. Can we move this? There we go. It's a good job by bulls so far. Here we go. All right. Can we get follow through? Man, what a battle. Passive buyer down here that I can't see. Once he gets out of the way, there's a flush coming. If he gets out of the way. Yeah, passive buyer down here, still soaking for now. I think the flush is coming soon. Someone's about to get stuck. Here we go. It's very close. Here we go. They need to take out this low, though. If they can't do that, they're going to get caught. Here we go. Can we have follow through, please? Just do like horrible 100-point candle. So PDC here. Watching this next box. If we trade through this, right down here we go. Thank you. So that passive buyer is now caught. He's offside. Here we go. Fuck yeah. Patience. Let's go, baby. Oh, he's clapped. Good one, mate. Hope ICT told you to go long in this fair value gap for your new move higher or whatever. Get out of it. All right, so partial here into PDC and this grey box. We have to respect these levels. Like I said, bulls have done a good job building liquidity. If they hold this, it'll be a two-leg, and if they reclaim, you know what happens. But right now, we look good for this rotation into here. This is what I'm looking for. And all these bulls are going to get themselves caught. All this volume, all the time we're rejecting this rotation here is possible. Looking good, folks. We're looking very good. We'll have to watch previous week value area low here into 60s, all right? Big, big level. Really good. Can we get some follow through all these levels? Go and wash everyone out. Make sure you're paying yourself into this, because no guarantee here. There is no guarantee. Come on, baby. Be kind to us. Just wash the whole thing. Let's do like a 300-point absolute slam on all of their faces. Adjust this level. Where did they get stuck? You want to see sellers maintain control of 100s. All right, you want to see sellers maintain control of 100s. I'm just zooming out to see where the big buyers came in this last lot. Yeah, I think there's a move down to 25,000 and below, but we have to maintain control towards these 100s, I would say. Otherwise, this is a rotation. Right, this is the rotation. Right, if they reject this, they retest this. If they reject this, they retest this. If they hold this and then reclaim this, then we go back to highs. So you have to pay yourself, because like we said, if this is a 2-leg and they want to bid off this, then we go back to highs. But so far, we're in control of this move. You want to see bears take control of this move. Amazon now gone back to red, Google red, Meta red, Apple green, Microsoft green, Nvidia green, Tesla green, Oracle green, AMD. We look good here. This is really good. Nice rejection of 100. Let's go. Let's go VIX. I want to see VIX reclaim 21. Didn't close its gap. Came right into it. I want to see it reclaim 21 for more Confluence. So I'm not big size on this anymore. Here we go. Can we get follow through here? Pretty please. Flushecito. Let's go through previous week value area low. Let's not fanny around in this level. Just come and wipe them all out. Come on, baby. Bit of absorption here. $115 to $118 looks like the level, but I don't want to see them reclaim 100. Otherwise, they're going to do that rip straight back up to 15 to 20. Let's go. Have to respect this shelf. It's why it's here, folks, right? These grey boxes are here because we've created volume. That thing that Michael Huddleston thinks doesn't matter, and bizarre, that thing that actually matters is holding up, all right? So the rotation can happen all the way back to here. I don't really want to see that because I think it means bears start to lose impetus for this downside move. Watching these 100s. Remember, if we get through 100s, we can rotate straight back to 20s. I don't really want to see that, all right? Because if we start reclaiming that volume above, this would be a 2-leg pullback that holds and can squeeze back out to previous day point of control. So stops into break even. And again, we can stop out if, well, for me, stops are into break even and we can stop out if we need to. And we can always re-enter. And we always talk about, like, don't force your way against this. If they're going to hold a 2-leg pullback and they want to achieve previous day point of control, they're going to do it. And if you don't have the discipline to walk away, then you will get hurt. Very big level here. They can squeeze straight through this on a reclaim. Flat now on this into 10s. Can always re-enter into 20s if I want. Well, the H1 swept a major level for me. If they want to rebuild here, I think they're going to have to rebuild structure on an H1 more than a small pullback. But, I mean, we'll see. You might well be right, BU, if they want to do this inverted head and shoulders, but it still means there's a short back down. But I'm not convinced. We've just swept out all that liquidity from Globex. And what time was this yesterday? All the way up to close yesterday. If they want to squeeze above this, we get very thick above this from sort of 93s up to 77. Is that right? 193 to 77. If they want to keep going, like I said, they can keep going. There's no way I'm longing up here. This might be one of those another day where I say I'm not going to get the counter trend longs, even though I'm looking for that squeeze up to happen first, but still rejecting this volume here. Still rejecting this volume here. They can't reclaim this. This is the rotation between these levels. Reclaim this volume. These are the levels. Let go of this volume straight down to here. Remember, you've traded. You're almost 600 points straight upside on the session. Just remember that. So if you're looking for any more longs, you're already 600 points up. It's a big move. Reclaiming volume. So if they reclaim this, you'd expect them to trade out to new highs, because we should really at least trade to here now. If they're going to trade through this, they should trade up here into new highs. I'm going to use a bathroom while it does this. Oh, put down my phone. Oh, well, I've lost my phone somewhere. Don't know where. Not good if my wife tries to call me. All right, back into volume. I'm probably going to give this one more shot, if at all, but you know, just have to admit, this is a rebalance day higher. I thought this might come on Monday, to be honest. I thought we'd go into a rotation day and then offer this price up Monday. So off by a day. And everyone's like, no, you didn't. It's in Discord. It was very clear in Discord. Still rejecting this volume. This is tricky. This is tricky. Those balls above are still caught. They just caught more again into that 40s. This is tricky. Structure is bullish. There's no doubt about it. Structure is bullish lower time frame. Lower time frame being intraday session. Structure on the daily and everything above is not bullish. Right? For me, this is a reprice to sell into. It's just whether they're going to sell it today or they're just going to let this drift higher and sell it Monday, Tuesday next week. That's all this is. What have I done with my phone? I'm worried that my wife is going to call. Maybe she took it. Oh, here we go. He's got it. He's got it. Here we go. Okay, back into volume shelf. Like I said, I'm flattening this. Anyone's like, oh, he's cooked in it. No, I'm not. All right, we're up considerable amount, especially on this account, which I just traded that short on. All right, we're not cooked or whatever you kids call it. We're not up massive on the long because I was focused on waiting for the long to finish squeezing out. Do any of you here trade with Funded Next? Because I've got a question for you if you do. Does anyone here trade with Funded Next? Do I think they're going to retest bottom range from yesterday? 25,450. 25,450. If they're going to do anything, they're going to come up to where we get thick yesterday, 25,200 to 25,240. POC yesterday, 25,20, let's call it. That's, if they're going to retest anywhere, that's where all the buyers got stuck yesterday, where the sellers come in. If they get through that, they're going to go to value area high of 25.76. I don't think that's a sell point. If they reclaim 25,200, there is a full reprice available, because above 25,240, we are very thin, right? Very, very thin. And we can go all the way back to that balance range where we failed from, 25,500. It's possible. To do that move in one day is insane. They're going to do a thousand point reprice on a Friday after a sell. I mean, this is the market we have now, right? We talk about it. This isn't usual. This is not usual market. Like, those of you in Discord will know I said, I think we're going to go into a very volatile market into 2026. I can see these moves being huge both ways constantly. The VIX is like sustained high for a number of weeks now, and it doesn't look like it's going to get, it's going to calm down anytime soon. It just doesn't. And the cracks are out there. Like, the cracks in the economy are out there, but you have to, like we talked about this yesterday, right? It doesn't matter what the macro event is. If the market's going to move higher, it's going to move higher, right? If the funds are like, fuck this, we want our Christmas bonuses, we're buying that lower Bollinger Band and we're sending this to all-time highs because we need to make our money because we haven't made any money this year, then that is what they're going to do. And they are not going to care what the news is. If they are in buy mode to get our Christmas bonuses, to buy our new Lamborghinis and buy a new wife or whatever they do, then that is what they're going to do. Which is why we have to trade what's in front of us. Yeah, that's it, B. I mean, it's a stretch, but look, I thought it was a stretch to reclaiming all of this, even though this is like potential liquidity. I thought that was a stretch. This was accumulation and second leg, and we're still going. So, I mean, I'm with you. They're going to do what they want to do. We can't fight it. All I know is that someone tell me where the put wall is, or the call wall above, because 600 was it on downside on the Qs. Where's the upside? Anyone know? Okay, so lifetime doji Funded Next. So I'm trying an account there at the moment. I've got it passed. Today is day 4 or 5. It's in the legacy accounts. I'm up like $3,600 plus dollars. I'm due 50% of it. What happens to my drawdown when I take 50%? So if I take 1.5 out and it's a 100K account, I'll move down to, let's call it $2,000 profit. What happens to my drawdown? Does it move up to 100,000? I need to check. So I don't want to draw too much out or anything. Locked at 0. So once you're past buffer, does it lock there? Is that what you mean? Or will I always have what I'm trying to say is, will I always have $3,000 drawdown? Or if I draw some out, there's a big exchange here again. Oh my gosh, that's a huge exchange. Look at this guy at the high, got caught. Mate, this is so tricky. Original balance. So if I only had 2,500 left in the count, I'd only have 2,500 drawdown. Is that what you're saying? Rather than it wouldn't go under the buffer. Is that right? Big exchange here. Big exchange here. Delta left at the highs there. Still buyers are absorbing this. They are non-stop relentless. Cannot fight this. I've had it, like you would have seen today, I've had a go at trying to play the backside when I felt people are trapped. I'm up on the day. I'm up not a lot. $2,500 or something on the day. Not up huge, considering this is a huge move upside, but there we go. If you're at 100K, you're locked, so go below. Okay, I understand. Thanks, mate. That's all I needed to know. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's still bullish, guys. The flow zones are hot. Like, you can't fight it. You cannot fight it. Look, the flow zones are holding. There's your buy signal on the reclaim of New York. I knew that this needed a squeeze out today, and I was looking for shorts either in here or here. This kind of area here was the prime area. We're basing above this. Is what I said. If we base above this, it's probably not a good short day because we've reclaimed value. If we zoom out yesterday, this is your B shape from yesterday. All right, and we've reclaimed this now. All right, and we can rotate in here. If they rotate in here for a session, what happens next week becomes important because if we rotate in here, if we gap up next week, we use this as a base, we reprice. If we gap down next week, we use a 2-day balance to move lower. All right, so they are pinning this in here at the moment. It's unfortunate. It didn't give me what I wanted. It is what it is. Like we said, I might be wrong today. If you all thought we had the ability to squeeze 800 points in the first couple of hours, then you're absolute geniuses. Look at this. Look at the buying on Bookmap. This is just shorts getting absolutely wrecked right now. Here's previous day point of control. This is straight upside market buying. This is just shorts getting popped. When this exhausts, it's going to be awful. He was long, wasn't he, Jack? Check your message further up. What are the rules on people winning giveaways but get pulled when they missed it? I rolled it over. Oh, he was short. Oh, dear. What, short early? Oh, dear, oh, dear. That's about 5 days in a row this week he's been wrong then, I think. Actually, one day he had a good winner. Okay, reaction of previous day point of control. This is where we get thick. Value area high, 60 through there, very, very thin. Very, very, very thin through there. Are they offering anywhere way up? Oh my God, they just keep offering higher and higher. Oh my God. Oh my God. What are they? Wow. You guys are mental offering up there. Wow, wow, wow. I wouldn't say we've reclaimed it. We're there. All right. So we've not pushed above and held yet. All right. It's got to hold this level, and then you've got value area high. And this is the old gap now, but that's the old weekly gap. I wouldn't be bullish up here. I mean, if you got bullish below, I'd be taking partials here and holding a runner, but I wouldn't be bullish here. Exuberance, yeah, I would agree with you. It's a short squeeze. This is a short squeeze, guys. This is everyone who loaded up on shorts at the lows and swing shorts, and they're getting squeezed out. That's why you're seeing market buying so heavily. It's just a giant short squeeze. Look, every drive up, you're seeing the stops get popped. Look at Bookmap. See all? Let me zoom out. See all this green? Right, this is all market buying. That is shorts getting popped out of this. This squeeze won't finish, right, until the last short is like done. Once it's like a small cap trade. Once they've done wrecking every single short, remember, when shorts cover, they become market buy orders. All right. So if you are actually looking to, here's a big exchange here. So if you're actually looking to sell, you're going to sell into those market buy orders. It can't go up forever. It can go up all day. It can go up next week. It can't go up forever because at some point there'll be no more shorts to get squeezed. Big transition here. The previous day value area high, next spot, and then the gap. Oh, sorry, Edward. I mean, I don't make that Nightbot up. It's got a life of its own. Don't worry about it. It's not punishing or anything. It's just Nightbot is silly. Look at this. They are getting absolutely run over here. Google trying to go red to green. Value area high here. And once we get through this, I really don't have any other levels other than for it to trade all the way up to the 500s. Honestly, which will be a 900-point day recovery. I actually can't believe I'm saying that. A 900-point day recovery. Look at all these market orders at the highs. Oh my God. Someone's so hurt right now. You see why we don't fight the tape, folks? You have not seen me pick a top today. We wait for the top to come in, and if it's not in, we cut the trade. Yeah, I mean, if you were on a yearly chart, yeah, technically speaking, BU. But I'd say like we've pivoted. We're into daily downtrend now because we've made a lower low. So we made a lower high, lower low. You'd want to see it close lower though. I just think this is a squeeze out. Honestly, this is a squeeze out. Big exchange here into previous day value area high. We know if they don't hold this, I don't know what to say. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Maybe gap, back to the top of the gap. Maybe all the way up here. I mean, it's mental, but look how vertical this is. There's not a pullback here. It's literally vertical. This is just stocks getting run over. They are getting run over here. Nothing else you can say about it. They are absolutely wrecked. A flush will come soon once all the buyers get trapped at the highs and they're finished with this. Because we lack structure, we'll come straight back down into this. Look how thin this is. There's no volume here. This is straight up. It's a straight up squeeze. Once it's done, there'll be a pullback. Failing previous day value area high here. Here we go. So here's the bigger flush down. High time frame algo here. Previous day point of control. We can move way, way lower if there's an exchange here. At the moment, they don't seem done with it quite yet. We need to remove this. Big exchange there. Big exchange. I'm watching this because we put a pin high in. It's moving so quick, though. I mean, it's actually quite hard to tape read this. It's moving that quick. We did leave buy delta at the highs. We did fail previous day value area high. On NinjaTrader, I actually have this here so that we're aware. Someone asked that. It might have been Mo. So that's an example of where NinjaTrader was more accurate, isn't it, at the moment? Okay, this might be the end of it soon. Let's see. How much more juice have they got? Google probably wants to get to PDC. Has it done it yet? I don't think it's done it yet. Almost don't want to look away because it feels like every time I look away, something moves so quick. Five, 10, 50. Look at this straight upshot since breaking out of that volume. Wow. Okay, here we go. Big exchange. Starting to see a flush. I am in this now. Small size. Going to play down to previous day point control. Stop at that higher time frame algo. Stop breaking even because it's counter trend. What I'm doing is very risky here, folks. You do not need to follow me, and I'm just watching order flow. I'm not going to give it any room. If they let go previous day point of control, I think we can flush down to 65. So if they hold previous day point of control, probably going to have more excess put on at the high. Here we go. I take TP1 here. See if I can get some more out of this. Not expecting too much because I'm counter trend. Remember, don't need to follow me. This is the hardest trade in the book, what I'm doing right now. I'm watching the exchange at 40 now because there's a 113 lot coming at 40. Between 40 and 45 is where buyers came in this last pull down. So if they remain stuck, this is where we can trade lower. This is a big level, 40 to 45-ish. I've already covered some of my position here into previous day point of control. I want to make that clear. If we flush this, then there's a chance to move back to this volume area into 60. Trying to make this as transparent as possible for you. But 40 to 45 is the big exchange level. Reclaim that, we're going to make new highs. Reject that, I think we trade all the way back down to here. Looks good. So I've already taken money out of this. Sellers trying to take control here. I want to see it pop to 45 and see sellers sell it. That's when I'm going to be like, okay, we're firming up. If we don't sell 40 to 45, then we're going to make new highs. So this is kind of the first drive up to test that level I've just talked about. They're selling in front of it. Come on, get up to 40 to 45. I want to see if you're there. Are you there? If not, new highs. Big selling. Nice. All right, they're protecting it. I think we can have follow through downside here. We've got to get under previous day point of control. And we will see follow through downside. Come on. Just slam through previous day point of control now. Let's get down to that volume shelf. Big, big exchange. Come on, sellers. Stop fucking about now. We've blown out all the shorts. All you guys who know what you're doing with me, come and take control of this. Let's get the flush. Protect 40, 45. Look for that follow through downside. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You guys are smart like me. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Let's go, baby. Big selling coming in at 230. Don't like that he's advertising at 30. 40 to 45 is the level. So we might get a little pop up into him. He's probably a buyer looking to get out there. Huge numbers, right? He's offering 500 lots at 230. So he's trying to advertise to pull the market up towards him because he's probably stuck. For me, 40 to 45 still the level. And be careful if we build out a base here. Looks good. Come on. Let's fucking go. Go away, Mr. 230. You're going to ruin the trade. You are going to ruin the trade. Look at you lifting high. I knew that you were stuck. You fraud. You absolute fraud. You're going to ruin this trade for me if you keep fucking about. Get out of my way. Leave the tape. You fraud. Can we get this moved down into the shelf is what I'm wondering. Into 60. Come on! Be careful here if they hold it. Remember, we've already locked in profit in this trade no matter what. 40 to 45 is the exchange level. Don't like that we've got a fraud on the tape. We've got a spoofer on the tape trying to lift price higher at the moment. I don't like that. Come on. Be done with it. Need this 250 guy to fuck off. He's trying to advertise to pull us up and you need to go away. You're going to ruin this trade for me. You did the same thing yesterday. You absolute prick. 40 to 45 is the level. Reclaim that, and this guy's going to start lifting offers trying to make us make a new high. So far, we are okay. We are okay as short sellers here versus 40 to 45. We are looking for rotation back down towards previous week close, which is this orange line into this volume shelf. Once we let go of that, oh my God, it could be really fun. But we're not looking for too much here because in the day so far, we're counter trend. Overall, I'd say we're still pro trend. We're expecting rotation. Come on, sellers. Don't fuck this up, please. You can do better than this. We base here. The longer we're here, the less I like it. The longer we're here, the less I like it. If shorts get stuck, we'll make a new high again. And I don't like this guy at 50. He's being a dick. He will lift. The moment we get towards him, he'll lift and cause a new high. That's what he's trying to do. He has already done it once. Watch him lift as we get close. He's being a silly Billy. He is being a silly Billy. Edge of the gap here. Watching the delta. If we reclaim, I'll have to cut the runner. It's all because of this guy's 500 lot. It's all his fault advertising like this. You know what you're doing, you pleb. There you go. And he's left. Fucking idiot. Has he moved higher? No, he's just left. What a fucking knob. If we reclaim 40.45, I'm out. All right? If we reclaim 40.45, I'm out. I'd like to see this rejected. This is a big, big, big level. Big level. You can see they're trying to sell this here. Need to see follow through now. And we need a lower high, lower low now. Otherwise, new highs are coming here. VIX has filled its gap, by the way. Come on. Very close to cutting this here. Don't want to get squeezed out. So he added up higher. Oh, what a tosser. What a tosser. Well, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. They're just, if they're going to advertise higher, I'm not going to fight it. They know what they're doing. This is all nonsense. This is not legit. They are trying to force the market up to come and search for them. There's someone that's stuck. This is not a legit exit. He's done it numerous times. Rejecting previous day value area high again here. Oh, what a pain. What a pain. But flow zone's holding. Yes, I am trying to trade against them. Like I said you don't have to follow me. It's the hardest trade in the book. Is trying to time these, especially when you've got guys like this spoofing the book. They know what they're doing. He's already moved 4 or 5 times today. So here we go. Back to new highs. Like I said, if they reclaim 40, you had to be out. And look, he's left the tape again. What a fucking surprise. What a surprise. What an absolute arse. If we make a lower high here and start flushing, I will consider it, but I cannot keep trying to do the same thing here. And we're starting to build out more volume here again. And this is the level now, that 200. Has he gone higher again? Oh, fucking it. This guy's an arsehole. This guy is an absolute arsehole advertising like that. I don't think you can play this. I don't think there's a play here short. Not unless they break down and he starts leaving. VIX still trading around PDC. Still not found a bit like a good bid there yet. Amazing strength from bulls. Cannot deny it. Amazing strength from bulls. Bears had the opportunity there. They had bulls stuck at 40 and 45. They didn't take advantage of it. And we've got a spoofer on the tape trying to lift the market higher. You have to be aware of them. This is their game. Let's keep lifting it higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. That's what they're doing right now. Right, they're offering above and then pulling, and offering above and then pulling, and offering above and then pulling. Once they're done with it, we can have some fun, maybe. And that might be Monday, folks. It doesn't look like it's going to be today at the moment, does it? We're running out of time. We've got 20 minutes till lunch. And this thing is still in an absolute tear upside. I mean, look at the 5-minute and 15-minute chart. It is bonkers. Look at that. Mental. Absolutely mental. He's advertising at 300, so that's where they're going to try and go, because this market is an absolute liquidity whore at the moment and is going to search for it. Even though he's not real and he's pulling, they're going to keep searching for him. It's just a short squeeze, Mo. It's a short squeeze. That's all this is. That's why it's so violent. I'm starting to wonder, are they going to go all the way to 500s here? I'm starting to think you're right, BU. Because, I mean, there's no sign. Every time they've had the chance to trap someone, there's no sign of weakness. Let's see. Let's see. Selling at the highs there, not really buying at the highs there. Let's see. Same levels, 40 to 45. That's your over under. That's where the big buyers came in. If we start letting go of that and snap below 20, then I think there's a move. But if we keep holding 40, 45s, there's no move lower. In my opinion, that's where they kept absorbing. So here's the test of 40s. If we snap this and snap 20s, we're going to get the move. It's the first retest. Okay. What are we doing here? You're going to let go of this shelf for me? We're going to get aggressive here. This is nice. Got to let go of previous day point of control. Can you keep absorbing here? Big selling. Heavy, heavy, heavy. That buyer's caught. Maybe you needed to advertise just to get into it. Very interested now in slamming this back down for 60s. This is what I'm looking for. Again, you don't need to follow me into this, guys. It's the hardest trade of the book. This is not an easy trade. This is a very, very, very hard trade because you're going to have to time with order flow. I do not advise you take this if you're a newer trader. The easy trade today, unfortunately, has been the short squeeze upside and it has not stopped. So I just want to make you aware of that. But right now, I am going to try and see if I can time this, if I can catch someone off guard. I think there's a flush to 60s coming. Here we go. They're still trying to absorb in front of these 200s. Have we got anyone at 80s? 80s, 60s are there. I think it's coming. And it's going to have to be very tricky. It's going to be very tricky. Big exchange here. Once this snaps, we should go down to 60s. Stop hunt under 06. So basically under the 200s, we might get a really nice wick. Let's see. Still absorbing. Need this absorber to get out the way. Meta now red with Google. Come on, baby. Enough already. This is your chance, Bears. This is your chance. Here we go. Okay, second attempt. This is going to be a final attempt because we've got 15 minutes to lunch. Can we get to 60s? Here's the 200s. Whole number here. You can take some profit here if you want. Can we get all the way down? Stop. Just stop. Stop the absorption. Please fuck off with your absorption. Fuck off just for a minute. Let it have some relief. Sellers move down to 250. That big spoofer. I really hope he doesn't ruin this trade. Come on. Ignore the spoofer. Here we go. Woo! God, we had to be patient for that. Let's go. Fucking puke it. Wreck these bulls. Go, 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 go. Go down to previous week close. Go, 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 go. I don't want to see any fucking pullback. I want to see you annihilate all of them. No pullbacks. Straight down. Looking for 60s for first TP if I can. Fucking go. Woo! Patience, baby. Patience and being willing to stop out when you're wrong. That is the key to trading. Starting to see a little bit of a bounce here. I want to see 200s and 220s stay heavy. This node here, we're going to have to draw this node out. This guy here has got to stay heavy. Don't want to see this reclaim, okay? Right here. What's the edge of this? 208 to 220. That has to stay heavy for the rotation into this volume. We look good. We look good. For the first time today, we look good. Starting to see some imbalances here on a tape where it's all sell side. So just be aware they might reprice to 210, 220 before we get any further. I'm really sorry this took all day and this is a tiny move. I'm going to be honest, this is a pathetic tiny move compared to the 600-700 points up we've done. I know team, I know. But I made it clear what I was looking for today. I really actually didn't want to take this short all the way up here, but we are in what we're in. Let's see if we can get down to here now. Oh my gosh. That guy advertising price just had to make our life very hard, didn't he? Had to make our life hard. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there at your TP1. If we start snapping through that, what I would say is if bulls have had their exit, right, if smart money understands that this is a squeeze and they've exited up there, if this doesn't hold, we can come all the way down to here. All right, it's very possible. If this shelf doesn't hold, we can come all the way down to the 950s. Very, very possible. Okay, so TP1 runners, if we get lucky, all the way down into this. And you do not want to see it reclaim up here. You just don't. You just don't. And want to be careful into lunch. We're going to get thin, and it's a Friday. It's a Friday. So I've added another 1,000 to my winning today. Nice try. You caught the long and the short. It's really, really good. No, I don't think so, Nihal. There's no reason for it to find a bid here right now. We're looking for 60s. I mean, there's a wick. I see what you're looking at. Maybe you're looking at that wick at 78. I think we're going to trade to volume, mate. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think we're going to trade down to previous week close. If you want to take partial here, you can. But I think we're trading into this volume shelf here. Right? Because this is thin. Think about just basics. Thin liquidity, thick liquidity. This is a good what? RBS zone. This is what? An SBR zone. We're trading failure here, breakaway into this, ideally into this. So we're looking for this move here. If they reclaim this, so be it. I know exactly what you're looking at. You're looking at that wick. I don't really want it to hold that wick. It's like this here is what you're looking at, right? That resistance, which I get. But I think we can drift into this. This is the thick liquidity pool that I'd like to see us move into. Like I said, already locking some money in. Some idiot just sold the low there. Yeah, you fucking idiots. You can't help yourselves, can you? Okay, we still look good. All the time, we're rejecting that grey box that I've got lined up for you, the first grey box. We can do it as red if you want, so you can see it. All the time we're rejecting this, we're looking for lower. But yeah, I see what you're looking at, Nihal. It does make sense, like that wick to wick, but I would like to see us trade into the volume shelf. Man, these sellers just ruined this at the lows. Be careful here, folks. You know, seller just got himself caught under 95. Oh, really? All right, two leg. If they get above this red line, break even for me on the runner. Big selling exchange here. Either way, added some nice money. What am I up now? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3,250. It's not the worst day. Nihal was right. They went to wick. Nihal was right. They held above the volume. We didn't even get to the volume. We're still rejecting above here, but I think those shorts, if you look at Bookmap, these are the guys that just ruin this trade, so you understand what I'm looking at. See these guys come piling in? These guys here, all right? 137 lot, 42 lot, 46 lot, 28 lot, 8 lot, 63 lot. That's the end of the auction. There's no more sellers under there, and then they let them reclaim this, and then look, high low there, and we're gone. Right, so these sellers just ruined it because they added too low. And Mr. 250 is left. Has he gone higher? No, he's completely gone. Maybe done for lunch. That might be me. That might be me for the day. Is there a way to edit on... This is one thing I can't understand on Bookmap. I draw it. Change drawing style. No. Then I can't pull it any longer. It's really annoying. Okay, we just traded into where he spoofed. Ugh. Alex is having to scalp out 30 and 40 point trades when the market's up 600-700. That is embarrassing. When do I get Discord access? Yeah. Well, if you go to the end of the course, Contorted, go to the very end of it. If you want to fast forward, shoot me an email. There's an email on there on what to do. And we go there. No momentum indicator bar. I'm just looking for failures. I mean, like I said, it's the hardest trade in the book because you're fighting flow zones and you're looking for potential collapse. This is the hardest trade in the book, is to try and trade these. When we're doing this on the session, right? This is the hardest trade on the book. The reason I'm looking for this trade, I'm trying to time it when we might rotate back down to here, right? Because I think unless we base above this value today, all right, then what should happen today is we should do this the remainder of the day, right? And then into next week, that sets out this or this. So I'm trying to time that rotation back down to at least the midpoint, if not value area low. And it's just looking for when the aggressive sellers come in after trapping buyers, which is we've seen twice, but they fail to take control. Yeah, nice, Contorted. Yeah, I mean, it's true, Miguel. I mean, so this has been the most hated market of the year by hedge funds because they're not net long, they're net cash. They didn't buy that April dip and they waited for a pullback. Same as me. I'll be honest. I'm mainly net cash. I waited for a pullback. I waited from April. I waited in May. I waited in June. I waited in July. I waited in August, and so on and so on and so on. And it never came. You'll know that only big tech stocks I got net long in were AMD at 158 and Apple at 202. That's all I've been net long in and holding. They were the only ones that gave me a setup that I liked. That is the same as most of the hedge funds. They're not going to get net long at the highs without a good pullback. And that's why they hate it. And retail is flying in. And, you know, these hedge funds won't get their Christmas bonuses if they can't get net long for a push. Maybe they got net long this morning. If we go back to, if we make new all-time highs by January, you know, is that enough of a pullback for them to make money from? I would argue probably not, but let's have a little look. We went over this yesterday. How big is this pullback? It's not very big. Right, if they got net long at the absolute low, right, 6.7% pullback. Right, we want to see 10, 11% pullback at least. It probably needs 20. And I'm not convinced that this isn't going lower. Where you think about retail, who bought the April dip. Why trading view? Why do I have to click it 10 times? Who bought the April dip are currently up 60%. All right, 60%. All right, no pullback in here. So why hedge funds hate this? Once we got over this, they would have been waiting for a pullback into this. Didn't come. Once we got over the 200-day and broke out, they would have been waiting for a pullback into the 200-day. Didn't come. Even this, tiny. They're looking for a retest of this. Didn't come. How about here? Had the ability to break down, come down to this shelf. Doesn't come. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. All we've done all year. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. So they are not on track for Christmas bonuses right now. But we are protecting. I mean, we did talk about this. We are protecting this level here. This is out the newsletter. Right. Trading back into this node here. Remember, this is the yearly profile. Make sure you can see the same thing. Right. This is the yearly profile. This is what all the liquidity we've built in 2025. We are currently trading from here to here. I would expect some rotation here. If bears win that, we will get this rotation down to this. Right, because that's very thin in there. If bulls win it, they will hold this, reclaim this, and this will be boom, 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 boom for the end of the year. They have a choice to make. I would argue this is our lower high now set. We have a gap above it. Lower high is now set. For me, it's very simple. I expected a squeeze out today or Monday based on structure. Right? We expect this. We expect this to be met with sellers an attempt of a breakdown. It might be that we let's say we come here and Monday we do an inside bar and Tuesday we do a look above and fail, and Wednesday we explore lower. But it's possible based on weekly model next week. We're going to have to see where we close. It's why I'm trying not to be too rigid. I'm really trying not to be too rigid at the moment, because this level here, anyone that's been in this chat or watched the newsletter, right, 700 to 25,000 is a big battleground, isn't it? We know it's a huge battleground. Inside, fail below, failed above, fail below, inside, support, support, support. This is your battleground. We start breaking like this kind of neckline here, we're coming into this next node. So everything's to play for the remainder of the year at the moment. And our job is just to make money when it's available. Like, I will review today and I will probably question, this is 3 drives now, I'll probably question if I should have got long here. And I'm going to be honest, I've probably been too focused on the rotation, because that is a long, flow zones are long, we're net long over value. Once we reclaim value, if you go pre-market, I probably said it, once we reclaim value, there is probably a long opportunity up to previous day value area high. The hard thing there is, we've already done this. My expectation is not to do another 500 points up, but this market don't give a fuck about my expectation or yours or anyone else's. And that's the thing with markets, right? And it is about controlling your risk, all right? Controlling your risk. Entering when it's available, not entering when it's not. Big selling here. Again, back to these sort of 40 levels. I'm done now for the day. We're at 2 minutes to lunch. I will laugh if they just drop this into lunch. I will laugh. They did just trap buyers up there again into 58s. I will laugh. Nice, guys. Yeah, everyone is leaving. Have a good weekend. I use TV footprint as you do, noticing POC near the high lows with accompanying delta combined with price fading the volume has been a nice sign of reversal. Yeah, probably very right there, I would say. Crazy, yeah. I mean, the news, I don't know how I'm going to write this newsletter right now. If we close high today, it's going to say this. Yet again, bears had the chance to take control and didn't. That's what it would probably say at the moment. If we fucking squeeze up and reclaim a previous day value area high, that's probably what it's going to say. They have the chance to take control. It's been the same newsletter since April, isn't it? Bears can't take control. They just can't. In the chat underneath, Lockie, am I saying it right? Lockie Ant. In the chat underneath, it's completely free. Yeah, so any of you watching who hasn't signed up, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Goes out on a Saturday or Sunday. Normally goes out on a Saturday now. VIX still under PDC. So just failing on a VIX. Man, my timing is off. I really thought this move today would come Monday. I thought we would probably stay in a range rotation near the lows and we would do this move Monday. My timing is off. Yeah, you're right, Info Risk. Maybe I'll do that. I'll quote you. Same newsletter this week, guys. Just But I mean, I'm trying to remember, what were the levels? Let's go through that newsletter from last week. Let's see how accurate we were, because we might have... Do I have it anywhere? even see it. Can't even see it. I'm going to have to get it up. Yes. Angel, yes. Extensions. Fibs and measured moves. Let's see if I can find last week's letter, see what we said. What were we looking for? Skip through the first bit. Let's go down. Is this the right one? This is the right one. From a technical standpoint, last week marked the first clear instance of bears taking control. However, we can't overlook Friday's late rally into the close. After persistent selling through this week, that's very much like today, and particularly heavily aggressive selling during Friday's morning session, momentum finally shifted. Price reached the bottom of the rotation near the 700 and aligned with a 50-day SMA, same as today. So you might be right. We're going to repeat it. Selling pressure subsided sharply. The rally into close and extended sessions. The squeeze was strong enough to push NQ back inside its weekly range, same as today. This squeeze was not and it even helped SPY finish the day in the positive, same as today. Looking ahead to next week, we will demand persist as traders digest last week's volatility. Friday's rebound underscores the importance of prior balance zones and the respect of it amongst participants. Still, the move should be viewed as short covering squeezes rather than confirmed reversals. True bullish momentum won't resume until key resistance levels are reclaimed. Same as today, same as this week. So bullish scenario last week. Bulls have their work cut out for them. Momentum has clearly shifted in favor of the bears. And until selling pressure is fully exhausted and key levels are reclaimed, most upside moves will remain as short covering rallies rather than sustained reversals. Same as today and this week. That said, look below and fails of last week's value area low near 25,000 could spark the short squeeze towards the volume cluster around 25,675 with a divisive pivot at 26,000. So where were the highs of this week? Let's see. How accurate was I? We said 25,680 to 26,000. 25,675, sorry. So Wednesday's high, going to Thursday. Wednesday's high was shy of that. So no reclaim of 26,000, all right, which is what bulls needed to reclaim. Bearish scenario. For bears, momentum remains firmly in their favor, but the exhaustion is whether they can build out on it. Friday's session showed signs of exhaustion at the lows, suggesting sellers might be losing steam. Still, with significant amount of volume trapped above, bears simply need to defend resistance levels to remain in control. The first level to watch is 25,350. Holding below that will keep downside bias intact. If that fails, the levels are 680 and 925 being the last major line in defense. Each loss of these levels increases upside potential for squeeze as shorts get trapped. Conversely, a breakdown below 25,700 will open the door for a retest of the daily Bollinger Band at 24,500, and below that we thin out considerably on yearly profile for 24,000 and 2350. Oh my gosh, I absolutely nailed that. We nailed that because this was the move. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Pretty accurate, I would say. Extensions to 700. Well, there's your 700. And we'd have to stay heavy for that for rotations down into here. It was pretty good newsletter. I'd say fairly accurate. Fairly accurate. And you are right. I can't remember who said it. Today, it's like last week, isn't it? Short covering rally on a Friday. We're starting to build out a huge amount of volume here and not moving, folks. Right? We are starting to build out a huge amount of volume here without squeezing higher and without failing down. Well, yeah, you've got... well, we're into lunch now as well. You are into lunch. I'm down for that, BU. Yeah, I'd love to do a Vegas meetup. We can do that next year. Well, I would love to do that. I can probably organize, if we do it, I can probably organize like a club and pull some favors with some old mates to go to a good club and DJ if anyone's up for that. Green Otter seemed like a difficult day for me as a newbie. As advised by Alex, I sat and watched. Yeah, I mean, I got it wrong today. There's no point me sitting here saying I got it right. I'm green, but I did not expect this violent squeeze out today. I thought we would get this Monday. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought we would get this Monday. But this is a short squeeze out. It doesn't, like, I would not, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Either we're going 25,000 or we're going to look above and fail here and close right back inside the range from yesterday. One or the other. This is big buying at the high of day again. Look at this. That's huge. Okay, I'm taking note of this. 530 lot at the high of day. Buy side. 530 lot at the high of day, buy side. That's worth noting. That is, and he got sold into passively. He got sold into, or they got sold into passively, I should say. They got sold into passively. Delta's right here at the 40s. It's been here the whole time. Your level, if you look at on the left, 344 buy side delta. If we start trading under that, you're going to see weakness. And that's what they're trying to do at the moment. They're trying to force weakness into lunch. You're very thin as you get into lunch, remember. Like, very, very thin. You're starting to see weakness here, folks. You are starting to see weakness under these 40s here. It's still like bullish technically in terms of setup, but this level here, if they let go of this, you will start to see weakness into lunch. And there was a big buyer exchange at those highs, but you're braver than me. I've had a few attempts. I'm probably done for today. Like I said, I've been trying to find an area of interest to fade. Today's not the day. I've got it wrong. We did a huge short squeeze, and that's it. Like, there's nothing more to say. What I will say, if we if we get up in the sort of 500s, man, they're selling this. Oh, man, it's tempting. These exchanges are tempting. Can't do it. I've made my money. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's lunchtime. No. No. Can't do it. Let them do what they want. If we get up into the 500s, we will be closing at around the 20-day. I cannot believe I'm saying that. We're going to rotate from under the daily Bollinger Band potentially to the 20-day in one session. In one session. Right? Lower bowl. Reclaim 50, 5 and 20, low vol mode. Oh. Don't think you understand. This is not normal, guys. Not when the bowls are expanded. Like, yes, when we're in contraction, not when we're in expansive bowls. This is really not normal. All right, we're into like these kind of wildness. Like this is this. This is off of the April low. Woo! Like, this is not normal. This is not normal. We don't see this. You give a non-Trump environment, this does not happen. It just does not happen. It's crazy impressive. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, man. It's bullish structure. I've had my goes. I'm not doing it. Cannot do it. No chance. No way. Wow. I almost want to sit here and just see, like, are they actually going to go to 500? We're now through yesterday's value. We are through yesterday's value. What was the low of day? How big is this move now? We're 250 points up, or 2.65% off the lows. I know overall we're only 0.75% up, but look at that. They're getting blown out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Top of the gap. Up here. Running out of things for it to look at. Up here, probably. Thin volume here, a little bit thicker here into 360s, but I mean, this train doesn't look like it wants to stop anytime soon, does it? Let's measure this. Well, top of the gap looks probable at the moment. Top of the gap looks probable. Wild. Wild. Man, can you imagine being a stubborn bear in this? Back in the day, I'm telling you, that would have been me. I would have been fighting with this all day. All day. Like blowing up and fighting with this. That definitely would have been me back in the day. Trying to pick the top and not admitting when you're offside. One thing I would say, not once today have I tried to short up here. I've been trying to take the breakdowns when they come, which is always safer because you've got set risk. I would imagine you're right. I'd imagine by the end of the day, there's blown longs and blown shorts. I would really think that is probably going to happen. Right, back to where we've just broken out from. I'm really interested in, like, what are they doing? What is the overall intention and game? They're holding every single key level now. What is it that they want to do today? How do they inflict max pain? Can we really go back to the 500s? Like, really? Can they actually do that? I mean, they can. I'm not sure I've ever seen a move that big if they do, off a big sell. I'm trying to think. How big was last week? It was, I guess it's the same kind of size. Let's measure this out. Last week, 650 points. Same to where we are now. Last week we exhausted after 650 points. We've got a long time left. Last week the squeeze happened into the end of day. We've squeezed all morning. No, I don't use a 50 SMA on a 1 minute. I don't use any SMAs on a 1 minute. No, this is a short squeeze. It's not that bears are done. We expect after a big sell, we expect to trade back upside to sell into. It's just that this is going further than people's expectations. It's going further than people's expectations at the moment. So all the time shorts keep coming into it is all the time we're going to keep going higher, right? All right, folks, I'm done. I'm out of here. Time to, well, I would say have a walk, but it's shucking it down with rain. We'll see if my dog wants to go out. Big love, everyone. I won't be here this afternoon. Not trading on a Friday when we're doing this. Let it do whatever it wants. We come back Monday. We see what's what. Thanks for joining this week. It's been a great week on stream. Sorry that today I didn't have the edge today. We made a bit of money, but we didn't have the edge that we thought was going to come. It is what it is. Peace and love, everyone. Be kind to each other. And yes, see you on Monday. Look out for that newsletter. Make sure you sign up. You need to sign up today if you want to receive it tomorrow. Otherwise, you have to wait another week. All right. Take care.